What is going on, fellas? How are you guys tonight?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Not much, man. It's another Wednesday. These Wednesdays are going by quick.
Yeah.
What are we? Episode 21 now. Man, oh man, we're on the heels of our guests' podcast tonight. I think they did week 23 this week. So,
hey, what's up, Kellen?
If we take them out at the kneecaps, maybe we can catch up to them.
That's all it takes.
Do a little Nancy Kerrigan. Nah, our guest tonight's awesome. What's up, Armando? How are you doing? Well, so guys, we've got a little pre-written intro. We don't normally do this, but for our guest tonight, we're going to do this. So here's our intro for our guest tonight. So here we go. Tonight's guest is a world-renowned chef, a collector of them all, and an all-around good chap. Hailing from the Kanto region, Professor Oak is one of the first people we'll meet in this vast world of Pokemon here on the Roundtable. His goofy charm will keep you firmly in his grasp. However, there is more than meets the eye with Professor Oak. So let's bring him in now. Mr. Oak, how are you doing today, sir?
Good evening. That was awesome. Thank you.
Partial courtesy of ChatGTP.
An AI intro. Love it.
Yeah. Partial. I redid it so that way it wasn't all AI. But the AI had to give me the helpful hints. I'm not as vast, knowledgeable in the Pokemon world as at least two of our guests are. I'm not sure how knowledgeable Derpa is at with Pokemon. So
I have no clue. All
right, we're in the same boat. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go down here with you then. We'll put the two guys that know what they're talking about at the top, so we can just link them on screen all the time.
We know nothing.
What's up, Dan? How you doing,
Pokemon?
Love it.
Dan's
hey,
here.
Hey, everyone.
We did send the link over to Swami, so depending on what he's doing, he may or may not pop in. So I know you're like super excited about that. Swami and you have some nice banters back and forth sometimes.
Oh yeah. We talked for a while. I remember it was New Year's Eve. I don't know. It was a couple of years ago now. It's like a year and a half or 2.5 years ago. I forget what it was. He was doing a live stream and there was like 3 or 4 people in there. And it was like 1 a.m. like after New Year's Eve, like going into New Year's Day. And like obviously I had a couple and I was like laying in bed with my earpod in listening to these guys. And he was like, "Oh, come on," because I'd never been on a live stream with any of them before. And I was like, "You want me to just get up out of bed right now and like just go jump on a live stream at 1 a.m.? Like I'm not Jake. I'm not Retroverse. Like this guy's crazy." So
yeah, Retroverse doesn't like 1 a.m. Like that's not his time. He's like, "I've never seen 1 a.m." And then there was a live stream he was on until 1 a.m. a couple of weeks ago. He's like, "Oh, it's the first time in forever." So Matt Fuller, how you doing, sir? Dan, I sent you a link if you did want to join us.
Hey, Brittany.
Trying to find Derpa's channel.
I'll send you a link right now.
Oh, Brittany, we post that every week in the Discord, the channel that is going to be the primary on too. So if you click on that, it takes you directly to the channel too. There you go. Thanks, Matt.
No problem.
Yeah, that was a fun night. He says, awesome. Jay, what's going on, man? We're gonna be talking a lot of Pokemon tonight. A little different than what we normally do, but we like including all the community. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you first got introduced into Pokemon.
Yeah, long time ago now. I'm old. I'm an old man. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I grew up with Pokemon cards as a kid. You know, buying a few, swapping. I didn't have a lot of money, so I swapped toys for cards as opposed to buying packs and swapping the cards. I would go get toys and cards and stuff from my bedroom and come down and swap that stuff for the cards. But yeah, I did that and, started Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy Color, or a yellow Game Boy, and over in the motherland back in England where I grew up. Obviously, you can tell from the accent. And went on to like play Pokemon Crystal, and I bought the first Pikachu promo set, the 2000 World Collection, back in 2000. I'd have been 12, I'd been pretty young, but kind of like loved it, always enjoyed it, always watched it, played around with it all the years. And then, right as COVID started kicking in and everyone started talking about it again, adults were talking about it. I was like, wait, other people still have their Pokemon cards. Like this is a thing. Like people still like this stuff. And I got real excited, jumped into it, got my binders out, and just started rocking and rolling again. And now I have a little bit of a YouTube, I have a podcast, a Discord and stuff. Buy, sell, trade, collect, like everything. I'm just touching all bases, really. I'm kind of all over the place. Just kind of enjoy it. And then, I met Swami through it, doing the YouTubing and Discording and everything. And I'd been in the Discord and, in the Marvel Discord for a while with you guys. Just kind of observing, I guess, just enjoying and learning it. And it was always so interesting. Yeah, it was interesting seeing pictures and cards and comics, the things you were posting. I was like, this is pretty cool. I love this stuff. And then I forget what triggered it a few weeks back. Something triggered it for me, and I was like, oh wait, like I really like this stuff actually. This is like really cool. And then I started talking to you guys more and like looking more at stuff. And every time I started looking further,
just jump right in, man.
Seriously, I was like,
feet first.
Oh wait, like yeah, I think I'm in. Like I'm in. And then it's just escalated. I just spent a fortune at the weekend on Marvel stuff. Like I'm already rock and rolling. I've got a couple of comics just got delivered. My first ever comics and the Marvel ones. I haven't even opened them.
Oh, cool.
I should open
Unboxing
them.
video.
Yeah, we get the little unboxing video here.
Heck yeah.
Jeez, like he just jumped right into.
Seriously. Excuse all this mess. I just moved into this house literally a few days ago, so I'm still trying to get.
Oh man, that's not a mess. Did you see?
That's not a mess. Trust me.
You have watched some of our videos, right?
Look at all my crap in the background.
Let me mute. This is going to be noisy real quick. Hang on.
No, you're okay, man.
You're fine.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, I never was really into so Pokemon came out in 96 in the States, so I wasn't really into Pokemon at that time because I was 16, so I just got my license in my car, so I was like always out and about doing that stuff. I think at that point in time, my interest had transitioned into like most 16-year-olds in the 90s transitioned into like stereos and subwoofers and doing that sort of thing with their car. So, and now I look at it and I'm like, why did I do that? That's such a waste of money. Yeah, no problem, man.
Been there. Yeah, I spent a fortune on my 6x9 speakers. I had the CD stereo player with all the LED color lights going on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun. This one's actually DC, but I thought it was cool.
Dan says welcome.
Catwoman.
Oh yeah, Catwoman. That's a really nice cover. Looks good. Cafe Chromos, what's going on? How you doing?
This is the awesome one.
Ooh, that is nice.
I love it.
Yeah, they got is it the Venom 300 covers kind of like that style? Fantastic. Or it's like the web version of them and stuff.
So yeah, finally got a graded comic. I've had a few comics. I got a pile of a few, but finally got a graded one in a good grade, 9.8. I mean, that's basically a 10 for CGC, right? That's basically like the best you can get. You don't see 10s, so that's pretty fun. It's fun to get that. I bought some sketch cards, some Marvel sketch cards.
Valor says the Patrick Gleason is killer, for sure.
Yeah, that's the third print, I believe. Yeah, I want to do. I think there's 4. There's like a red, white, blue, and then there's one with like a white background. I think there's 4. So I think it'd be cool to have all 4 on display on a wall. I think it's very visually like appealing, that artwork.
For sure.
What have you guys been buying? What you been?
Vintage Lord, what's up? Myself personally, Domino. I mean, that's kind of where I've been, and then I've hopped into a few breaks. I know Melfi did a whatnot break this weekend, and I jumped in on that. He was breaking DC versus Marvel, and then some 94 Universe, so I jumped in on that. Bought some packs from him there, stuff I needed for my binder, and a set that I hadn't opened before. So the DC versus Marvel was fun. Those cards look really cool. So cheap, low entry stuff for me right now. I just ordered a couple commissions from a couple nice artists. So once those come in and stuff is cleared, then we can share that. What's Valor saying here? Valor, just come in, man. What are you doing? I think he's moving around because he's working on the books right now.
Yeah.
Red, white, blue.
Negative.
The 4th print is a negative image. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like the color like flips. It's like where the paper is white instead of black,
Mhm.
and then it's like negative, like you said. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I think it's
Nice.
awesome. I got that for $30. I feel like that's a really good price for.
Yeah, that's like my Domino J. Scott Campbell book back here that's autographed. Like somebody wanted like $185 for a CGC 9A, and I'm like, I could buy the book for $30-$40. I'll just buy the book.
Yep.
I don't care that much about it being in a slab because I can just buy one of those like comic book top loaders and put it in there. Do they make comic book one touches? Because that would be freaking awesome if they did.
I've got a buddy that's actually doing a patent, and it's got accepted on Kickstarter. It's the same.
Oh,
concept,
nice,
but
yeah.
incorporate going around like the one touch, like the keynotes that's normally on a CGC slab. So you would have a one touch that's custom made for a comic, but you don't have to worry about grading.
Nice, yeah, and that's like the more I'm doing my own personal collection with Domino, I'm liking the way the one touches display. I mean, I wish they were clear like the CGC slabs are, but they're frosted.
Yeah.
So, but hey, can't win them all.
I do have.
But you can catch them all.
You can catch them all. You can try at least. So I was gonna have I have a white Pokeball up here, and I was gonna take that and like throw it towards the camera, like just above it, and then have like my son stand behind the camera, and as the Pokeball got there, like cover the camera and have it go black, and then roll the catch sequence from Pokemon Go. But I was like, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to try to produce.
Plus, you probably get a trademark infringement too.
Well, as long as we keep it to under 4 seconds, we'll be all right.
Okay. Yeah. I do have.
And we're talking about it too, so I mean, it shouldn't have an issue.
Some of my like better comics, I do have like it looks like one touches basically, not one touch, but like just plastic sleeves that go around them, So those help out a lot.
Yeah.
To keep some of the older books better condition. I did go through
Soul, what's up, man? How you doing?
A bunch of books actually yesterday because I went to a little small Comic-Con in Mandeville, Louisiana, which is right north of New Orleans, across the Lake Pontchartrain. And there was a guy at the end of the day of the convention who was just trying to get rid of all his books. So he's like, hey, $40 for a short box and then $70 for a long box. So I got the entire run of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Was it CeeLaCon at the Paragon Casino?
No, this was in the Mandeville Convention Center, which is like in a state park, basically.
Okay.
It was just some guy who just looked wiped out, long day. So he's just like, I just want all this stuff home. So that's the way to do it, man. End of day conventions, love the deals. So
Global, what's going on? How you doing?
Yep.
Real quick, guys, congratulations to this man right here. Just got engaged.
Yes, congratulations,
so everybody
buddy.
Congratulate Soul.
Congrats. Wow.
Way to go.
Super exciting.
It's not too late. You can run.
Now you can sell us all your cards. To pay for the wedding.
Dan says,
I'm just kidding.
Oh, start talking Liverpool FC.
I got a present for Dan, actually. Dan supports Liverpool, right?
Dan? I don't know if he supports Liverpool or not. I know he's in Minnesota. I know there is one that he supports, but I don't know if Liverpool's his team. I don't think we ever talked about that. He may have brought it up, but
someone said they did.
But are you excited about the Messi move? I know we're getting way off Pokemon or Marvel at all. Are you excited about the Messi move to Miami?
Millions of people are excited about it. Apparently, I mean,
like every ticket for every game, home or away, has sold out for the entire year.
Damn,
it's insane. That's big for United States soccer.
That's huge for MLS. Yeah, I've never heard of that. But
that's as big. That's bigger than when Beckham came.
Did they say what his contract was? Like how many years?
I know he's got a stipulation in there where he'll be able to buy an expansion team down the road, and that's the same stipulation that Beckham had. And he's going to make so much more money, than if he would have signed with that Saudi team because of that. Yeah,
that's crazy. But hey,
he does support Liverpool. Yep, massive Stevie G fan. I don't know who Stevie G is, but I'm sure that's crystal clear to you, Oak. But I'm just like, who? I'm like, is that another musician?
Chef Kiss. Yeah, I thought he said that. I went through some old boxes after. I remember the conversation, and we're talking about that in the Discord. Went through some old boxes, and I found something. I'm gonna send it to him. So Dan, I need your address, baby.
Swam, if you want to come in, man, I already sent you the link earlier. You're more than welcome to hop in anytime you want if you want to come in, buddy. So we got to keep this train of Josh doesn't show up. You just take his spot and just keep that going. So Oak, who's gonna be your? I got a couple questions on the Pokemon front. Who is your favorite starter Pokemon out of the 4?
Pikachu.
Yeah.
Pikachu. I already knew you were gonna say Pikachu. I'm a Charmander guy. That's my jam.
Pika Pika.
And I had to get Nerf to do that.
Pika,
And then
Pika.
of
Start
all the
doing
Pokemon
voices,
that are
Swami
out
can just have
there,
my spot.
Sorry, man. I'll stop.
Daniel's like, I'm gone.
I wish I could do it.
Do what? The Pikachu voice?
Try. We're all here. We're all listening.
Yeah.
We're encouraging you. Go ahead. You gotta do it from the diaphragm. Yeah.
I mean, Oak's doing his best American voice, so
Pika.
Let's do a Jigglypuff.
How does Jigglypuff sound? I have no idea.
we're waiting on you, Valor.
Yeah, no, we're just kidding.
Fine, we'll skip you.
I'm curious, what got you into collecting Marvel cards? Was there a transition from Pokemon to the Marvel cards, or was it during COVID, or did you collect when you were a kid? You know,
It was Swami.
oh, Swami. Okay,
It was Swami and you guys in the Discord.
Swami's
Yeah.
Swami's a freaking enabler, man.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he was like, essentially said, yeah, I'm done with Pokemon. Marvel is so much better. I'm going to switch gears. That like had my ears up because I was like, Jigglypuff. Yeah, I was like, wait, like, is it that good? Like, is the stuff that good? And then I saw you guys posting the pictures in the Discord, and I was like, oh, this is legit. Like, and there's like
there's
real money floating around, beautiful artworks, sketch cards. I mean, serialized cards. There's like an excitement level to it too. There's a chase. It's not just about the character, you know. And like in Pokemon, the last 2 sets, Scarlet and Violet and Paldea Evolved, I just pulled the 2 biggest cards out of both sets.
Did you get the Tyranitar?
Say again.
Did you get the Tyranitar?
No, I just got the Iono alternate art yesterday. I pulled that. I sold it within an hour. I'm like, I don't even want it. Like, it's just not for me. But I think if there was a serialized card or like something like you guys have got some of those nicer cards that have like holograms and different features like glow in the dark or a number or a sketch or an auto, like all that kind of stuff. There's none of that in Pokemon. Like,
Well, even with the base
zero.
sets, there's some really nice art out there that people pass up nowadays because there's so many inserts and
Really
parallels
nice.
in there, right? That are more
Yeah.
chasey.
Yeah.
Old timer, how's it going, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. So what character nowadays is like your focus for your collection? Like, who's your besides Pikachu? Who's like your character that you collect nowadays?
Pikachu. I mean, honestly, last year there was at one point last year that with PSA I was grading. I'm decent friends with the set registry there. I've had them on my YouTube. I interviewed them on my YouTube, which like not many people have managed to get a PSA. So that was like a height of the YouTube channel, you know, to interview them. And I think at one point I was number 2 in the world for Pikachu slabs. So
Nice.
which is like I had quite a lot, but I've sold a bunch of the not so special ones, knowing that prices are coming down. I'll be able to buy them back a bit cheaper because they were overpriced, and I recognized that when I was grading them. So as I started to see the decline, I was tracking it for months and months, and it was dipping and dipping and dipping. And I was like, these specific ones I need to clear out, wait till they've fully dipped and buy back in. So I'm not number 2 right now. But yeah, I've got a bunch of Pikachu cards. I got binders full of stuff. Yeah, I have some Professor cards. Obviously, Professor Oak, some of the professors. I have oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Some Eevees, some Evolutions.
Old timer, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I have. I actually. There's an illustrator. I know you guys appreciate illustrators. I mean, you've had some of them, you know, artists on the channel. There's an illustrator called Sao Sao, and she's, you know, a Japanese illustrator. She's absolutely incredible, and she's probably my favorite Pokemon artist. and she has a website. She does commissions and stuff, and I've considered it like you guys have done that kind of stuff. I've considered that, and actually reached out to her, and she didn't respond. So I haven't had much luck there at the moment. I think she's probably pretty busy, being such a high level one. But yeah, Soul News. I'm talking about. I got a little mini binder somewhere. Just that binder is purely South cards. She's fantastic. So
William says he does have a YouTube channel, but he's got a pretty cool idea. Why doesn't somebody come up with an iconic Marvel card from each year, and you can only choose one card a year? Ooh, that would be interesting. Genji man, get on that.
yeah.
He's good at doing the list stuff. Soul says he just sold the Pikachu Secret Character Rare from Cosmic Eclipse as a PSA 10. And he said that card's finally getting some recognition.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
And it's
Ryan,
very expensive right now.
welcome,
I'm glad he sold it because it really is. It's not cheap at the moment. Yeah, this really is some fantastic Pikachu cards. In the set registry alone, just with PSA that they currently recognize, there's over 700. Like this, I think it's almost 800 at the moment. It's insane. And then you've got cards that aren't Pikachu cards, but they feature Pikachu. So it's like, you know, kind of a Pikachu card, but not really. Let me see. I think I've got one here. This is my favorite Pikachu artwork, Crimson Invasion. It's a super cheap one, but like just such a cute, like lovely, calm.
Yeah,
artwork.
Pikachu's got like across all the years, even the more modern stuff. You know, he's got some really cool, cute artwork on the cards. Do you feel that most of the Pokemon world is more gameplay or more collecting / investing? Like in your personal opinion.
I would say less than 5% of people that buy Pokemon cards play it.
So that's a big amount then.
5%, less than 5%.
No, I mean a big amount on the other side of that coin,
huge,
right?
yeah.
As far as the collecting and investing.
Yeah, most people stick them in a box. Like this is, I don't know how clear that is. It's a Magikarp card. The focus isn't fantastic, but it's got a Pikachu on the beach. It's like sat behind him. I can't get it to go clear. So it's like when you're a character collector, you've got that that pressure of any picture like with that character on you want to get.
It's kind of like the Marvel guys that go. Sorry about the dog. It's kind of like the Marvel guys that go crazy, like with Black Hat and stuff like that, where they, you know, if the name is even on the back of the card, like no picture, nothing, but like just the text is mentioned of that character. Like I got to collect that card. That's so. There's so many, like even with Pokemon, there's so many ways you can do that.
And then you have packs. Like, do I collect every pack that has a Pikachu on it too? Do I collect every non-set card because you've got promos? And then you have, I mean, you even have stuff like this. Like, it's not a Pokemon card, but it's a card with Pokemon on. Someone made this.
Swami asked what set that it was from. I think he was talking about the Magic card. I'm not sure if that's right or not.
The Magikarp's Rebel Clash. The one that's my favorite is Crimson Invasion. It's probably $1 card. It's worth nothing, but I love it.
And Soul asked, "Do you have a Japanese Pikachu Anna promos?"
I had one. I sold it It's overpriced. They're crazy priced. It's insane. So that's one of the ones that I sold because.
Is that the one you guys were talking about in the Discord? What's
no,
I talking about.
I haven't talked about
25K or something like that.
I don't know.
It was some Pikachu card. It was a promo or something like that. Over in Japan, it was selling for like 25K or something.
I forget.
I don't remember.
There's so many.
Old Timer, let's get to your comment there, Old Timer, in just a little bit. I do want to talk about that though. Flare Ultra Hockey. Yeah. Those niche Japanese promos featuring Pikachu or even cameos with multiple Pokemon are becoming my favorite, he says.
Fantastic.
I think one of my favorite Pokemon cards that I have is that it's from Celebrations. It's that 4-panel puzzle, the promo cards that create the 4 panels. That looks really cool because you get the 4-panel and then you get the jumbo as well.
The V-Union.
The V-Union ones. Yeah, those are really cool.
Do you have it?
Oh yeah, not Celebrations. Yeah, I've got the 4-panel and I have the jumbo too. I think I got like 3 sets of the 4-panel, so I'm going to send those in so that way I can try to get a complete set of 10s with them.
Yeah, I think I sent three sets too, and I think only 2 of them hit a 9. The rest hit
9,
10s.
like two of the cards.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Because you said, I know on your podcast you were saying sorry Matt, you said the English versions, like on the podcast that you do on Tuesday nights, that's majority of the English ones are harder to grade. The Japanese ones, you send those into like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, but the English ones are tougher to grade. What do you think the reason behind that is?
Japanese print with better quality paper and ink. Take more care. I mean, they literally just put more care into the printing. They have better machines, sharper blades, better quality paper. It's glossy. It's much glossier and less papery than the English ones. The English ones, they're printing so many and rushing it, and they just bought Millennium Print Group not too long ago. They bought their own printer. So they're trying to figure that out still, I think, as well. Like running their own print facility of their stuff, because before it was always a third party doing it for them. They just send the designs and proofs and everything.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on like the grading of packs with Pokemon. Like, do you collect any of the graded packs, or are you strictly rip them open and enjoy the cards inside? Because I do see a lot of people, do just go ahead and take the packs, send them off, get graded. We actually found my mom passed away about 2 years ago, and she worked at Barnes and Noble, and she had bought a bunch of clearance stuff. I had no idea she had first edition Fossil and first edition Jungle packs.
Just sitting in a box.
Just sitting in a box in her garage.
That's incredible.
And my nephew, my sisters were like, you want them? And I'm like, I don't collect Pokemon, but my nephew does. So I didn't realize people grade the packs, so we just opened them. We found a few cards that were really nice. Nothing really super expensive, but we either put them in sleeves and put them in one touches. So he now has those first edition cards. Like, he's got a few Pikachus out of them too. So, but I just was kind of curious your thoughts on that. Like, are you somebody who wants to rip, or are you somebody who thinks, okay, well, the pack is really cool, let me save that as well? So
yeah, I'm an animal. I've got problems. So that's a really good question. I think it's a yes and a no.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We all got our problems. That's how we ended up being friends and doing this.
But I'm part of it, right? Yeah. So there's a yes and a no there for me. Was it Sol that just said it? Yeah, Sol just said weigh the packs. So when we're talking about packs specifically, weigh them, just grade the light ones. That's if you're graded. But if you buy in, I mean, you just assume that they're light packs. It's just to appreciate the artwork. I don't collect any. I did have a few packs, like actual packs not graded. I would maybe buy them if they were a decent price. But for me, I want to rip stuff. I used to have a pretty insane ETB box collection, which is Elite Trainer box. It's basically a box of Pokemon cards where you get like sleeves and a few packs and some card dividers. Like, it's like a full setup, like to play the game.
I've seen those.
Yeah, I used to have quite a lot of those, and then bourbon happened on live streams. So every time I'd get on a live stream and have a couple of drinks, and I'd be like, "Yeah, should we start ripping? Like, let's rip one." And then I went through like a lot. It's sad looking back now, but yeah, I ripped through a lot last year. But I have fun doing it. I got some nice cards out of it, and yeah, I didn't really look back. I think for me, it's the fundamentals of it is the cards. Like, it really is. A lot of people really truly value the sealed collection, but honestly, a sealed box of anything, you don't know what it is. It's just a box, right? You don't actually truly know what's in it. So I have a hard time giving value to that. I would have a hard time paying a lot of money for like a really expensive box. I don't know what it is. It's just a piece of cardboard until you open it. So I think I'd have to rip it is my answer if I did buy something. Most stuff I'll rip open, and the stuff I keep sealed, I end up ripping.
I'm the same way, man. Like I had a couple boxes of Evolving Skies sitting up on my upper shelf here for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I got no other boxes here. There's nothing new that's come out. I looked up and I went, screw it, let's do it. So I went to the break table over here. I broke it open. I hit that Rayquaza alternate art, like the second biggest card in the set.
Gorgeous.
And I was like, awesome. And then I ripped the second box, and I should have just left that one closed.
Yeah. Man,
I almost have to hide my Marvel card boxes away from me, basically, just so I don't remember I have them. Sorry.
Yeah, right. You got to give like, here you go, wife. Put these away. Put them somewhere I don't know where they're at, but you don't forget.
Yeah. Sorry, Daniel. You were saying something?
No, yeah, I was saying Evolving Skies is one of the worst products to rip because the pull rates are so bad. It's like one of the worst.
But it's got all the characters I like. I like the Eevee evolutions.
So does everybody, but pulling those is just such a minuscule chance. You might as well just buy the card.
It's that part of the problem, Daniel. It's that part of the problem that Oak talked about. It's like
what set was the one where the guy was stealing all of the inserts and then trying to sell them?
It was
that
Evolving,
one. Well, there you go.
Yeah, Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's why you can't hit anything. They were all stolen.
Yep. I remember reading about that. I was curious.
Swam is in the chat. He's talking about ripping Japanese, because of the prices. I opened some V-Star Universe. That was fun. I got crazy hits in that. I opened. I think I pulled the biggest card in there, the biggest trainer anyway. I ripped some Battle Region. I was hunting for the Hoot, which is a pretty cool card. I've got it here somewhere.
The value's to be determined.
Yeah, Brittany's getting deep on us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like with Spider-Man Metal, you might not have anything.
Love it.
Honestly, we've all seen that. So I am a firm believer with that product. Do not sit on it. Rip it. Get something
Swami
good, hopefully.
says if he's going to rip Pokemon, it's Japanese for the price.
Well, with Pokemon, we're about to have a new set called 151. And, like, say, if you haven't been involved in Pokemon and forever, you're like, well, I just know that original set and that's it. This is the set that's going to kind of bring a lot of those people back because that's all it is. It's the original 151, but in the new format where you start getting, like, new illustration rares and alternate art rares. Like, they leaked the Mewtwo, which will be a big card for that set today, and it's a dope Mewtwo card. He's like flying over this skyline at night, and they're really going all out on it. So that's going to be.
When's this set supposed to come out?
So the Japanese release, I want to say hit today, or it's this week. It's sometime soon. I'm probably misquoting that, but then the American release will probably be September.
Okay.
On my channel, there's going to be plenty of booster boxes open on that.
So do we start camping outside the targets now, or can we wait till like end of August?
We'll see. We'll see what happens with it because it will bring excitement back just for that. There's already like 5 Charizards in the damn set, so anything that has Charizard, it gets pulled pretty heavily. So that'll be the same thing with this.
And it's got brilliant artwork, like really genuinely brilliant artwork in it. So I could see it, this time next year being $7-8 a pack, easy. Like it's going to be.
Yeah, Brittany, we were just talking about this. We were just talking about this in in Swami's Discord the other day. Somebody had sold a Lily, PSA 10, I think it was, right? But yeah, the cards are going crazy right now for Pokemon.
I'm curious. So I really don't know anything about Pokemon, and I guess pick your guys' brains. So in terms of artists, is there one artist for that set release, or are there multiple artists? And do they get like cards they can sketch on? Like I know there's no inserts for sketch cards in Pokemon. I know there's holofoils and other rare cards like that, but I'm just curious. Good
question. So I guess what they'll basically do is they'll commission a lot of artists. There's a lot of them involved in each set. And they'll say, hey, can you do these 3 Pokemon? You do those 4 Pokemon. You do those 5. I want you to do the big hit one, really invest some time, I'll pay a bit extra. That's basically what we do. So the bigger cards that they really want to like sell the set and have as like the most rare card, they'll get a really good illustrator to spend time and literally create a piece of art, like an artwork, and it works every time. Like there's always one that really stands out, a minimum of one in every set where there's a card that's just incredible.
Swami says Pokemon is very strict on what the artist can do, even what they can sign and how they can sign. Interesting.
He's talking about outside of the set. So that was what I was going to get to next. So within the sets, there's no signatures, there's no sketches, there's none of the fun stuff like you have in Marvel and Star Wars and the rest of it. There's none of that like I could get this special thing that like no one else would have. Mm-hmm. Anything you pull in a set pack, anyone else could pull. Might be lower odds, but there's no serialized, there's no signature, there's nothing unique in a set.
Do you think pack. Pokemon would ever do like what Magic did?
I hope not.
With the ring.
It'd kill the game.
I hope it doesn't. I hope they don't either. I like the non-serialized because I do like the early '90s sets of Marvel too, where it's like you may have an insert like your hollows or your full arts that you get in Pokemon. I like those kind of sets because you have something to chase after. But it's not so ridiculous that there's no way you could accomplish that task, right?
Right.
Because I like to build sets, so that's why I like those kind of sets.
So what you can do though,
choose.
Right. What you can do is like, would you guys say you pull a sketch card or an auto or something like that? What you could do is take a card from a set and get an illustrator to do a sketch on it, and sign it. So then it's that card with your favorite Pokemon on by an illustrator, and it has a sketch and it has an autograph.
You guys noticed that too, that Valor's like slow roll teasing over there, and then when I made him big, he switched it back to Oak.
Look at my shiny Ghost Rat I got here. Mm-hmm.
But you were teasing.
Yeah, that's that Clayton Crane one.
We can all talk off to the side.
Yeah, because I'm going to hop off of here, but over the weekend I was able to go to Dallas Fan Expo and get a commission from Clayton Crane. So I was just going to share it with you guys.
That's awesome, dude.
I thought you were painting that as we were talking.
Start the bidding at $300. Do I have $350? Do I have $400? $450? $500? $1 million.
Hashtag Valor in the comments. Oh,
yeah, no, think not. Think not. All right.
It has been spoken.
I do have to hop off of here and help out with dad duty. If I can come back on, I will. But in the meantime,
no worries, man.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
See you, man.
That sounds good. See you, bud. I didn't see that. I'll have to check that out, Swan. Soul says
he did
hashtag Ghost Rider.
Really nice Venom, with kind of light in the background. Oh, look at that fancy thing.
My friend just bought it for me this week.
Wow.
I gotta get that up on the wall.
Brittany, are you asking who Soul Collectibles is? He usually comes on the Monday night Unbound stream.
He's the one that looks like everybody's nephew.
He does, yep. He's the youngster of the batch.
Just kidding, Soul.
He's the youngster of the batch. He's like only could be one of me.
Like the Highlander. Sorry.
So did you get into Pokemon Go at all?
The game?
Yes, sir.
I played it. I downloaded it. I played it, but it's like it's far too like you can't sit on the sofa and do it really to like be successful at it. You have to actually. I mean, that's the intent though, right? To exercise and go out, see the world. I don't want to do that. Come on.
I know during COVID they made some changes to where like you could go to like the gyms from home as long as you could see them on your map. Because people would spoof. They'd like use like a GPS spoofer or something like that, and they'd be able to go from like nowhere United States to
just use
downtown
a VPN
Beijing.
to go wherever. Yeah.
Yeah. You just go
I saw a guy.
That leads us to our sponsor, NordVPN. No, I'm joking.
I saw a guy tie his phone to his ceiling fan to make it seem like
So
he
he
was
could get the distance. Yeah.
steps to it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's insane.
Did you play?
I did. I wasn't into it at first. Like my kids started. I'm like, that's so stupid. Why would you guys want to play that? But I was like the grumpy old man, get off my lawn sort of thing. And then we went for a walk and they were playing. I was like, let me see, because they couldn't catch it. So I was trying to catch it for them. And then I was like, well, that's actually kind of fun. So then I got into it. But then as they started making more and more updates, it turned me off with some of the updates they were doing. I was like, there's too much to do in the game now. That is just like, I liked it when it was like you go out, you battle the gym, you put your Pokemon there. The longer your Pokemon stays there, then you get more rewards for it. And then it was like you're capped on the rewards you can get no matter how long you're in the gym. And then you're waiting for somebody to take down the gym so you can get your Pokemon back. And I'm like, come on.
Yep. Yeah, I read recently, I don't quote me on the exact number, but Niantic that made the game last year made about $3 billion in that.
Oh yeah, it's crazy the amount of money they're making on that game, and it's still very, very popular. There's there's massive Discord groups for it, and they have like in Michigan where I was at, they had Discord groups that had like all the different little groups around the state too, like within one server, so you could go into those sub servers and then interact with the people there to coordinate like the raids and everything. I mean, it's a great way to meet new people and interact, but it got to the point where nobody got out of their car. Even you just pull up to the gym, you just sat in your car and you just battle the raid right from your car, and then you drive off to the next one. And the community days were fun though, because you get a group of like 30 cars going around gym to gym to gym to gym.
And that was pre-COVID too when that started, so I think that did kind of help fuel that interest in the cards when COVID hit, so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my wife played it. I couldn't get into it. I had too many other things going on. I was under records at the time.
I finally deleted it off my phone about 1.5 years ago. I deleted it because I'm like, I don't play it enough, and I got into the point where I felt like I had to go into the app and do the daily thing, even though I really wasn't getting anything out of that. I'm like, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta spend a Pokestop. I gotta do this. I'm like, I don't care anymore. So I moved on. It's like I'd rather buy Marvel cards.
Yeah. It's like that Topps Collect app. I feel like it constantly reminds me as I turn off reminders, because it was constantly like, you have a new claim available. I'm like, no, I don't want to bother with this anymore. Please, God. So it's deleted. It's crazy. Some people actually sell those cards, the digital cards, on eBay from Topps Collect. But
yeah, well, even like the code cards that you get out of the boxes, people sell those in bulk too. Anytime I open anything, I just show it to the camera, and whoever gets there first gets there first.
My nephew had no idea. I was seeing this huge stack of these, code cards. I'm like, you do know you can go online and get stuff off of there? He's like, he had no idea. And we spent like 6 hours just entering codes one day. No. Like I was babysitting him, and my sister comes home. She goes, "Were they good?" I'm like, "I'm tired. It's time to go home. Go to bed."
Wait,
you went Pokemon ever again?
you went typing the code, were you?
The QR wouldn't work.
Yeah, there's sometimes when the QR code wouldn't work. Sometimes
QR wouldn't work.
Even for me, I had done that. Like you'd go to scan it and it just wouldn't scan right.
Yeah.
So
he was reading the code to me and I was typing it in, but he kept messing up on some of the codes. So we had to go back and enter him like 4 or 5 times. He's like, I don't know what this is. I'm like, that's a number symbol or a hashtag.
I sold about 800 last night to a guy. I just sold them all in one big bulk to him. A little bit cheaper than if I'd have sold them separately, but it's just all the different sets I've been opening over the past couple of years, and I hadn't entered them into the game because I play the online game too, especially on mobile. It's a lot easier now because it used to just be on the laptop. You could play it. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good game. It's easy. It's nothing too crazy, but to be really good, like really, really good, and actually win things, not easy at all. What is crappy reviews in the game sucks? Cards are also no quality. Genie Smog to know.
Different strokes for different folks. That's what
exactly.
It is.
Yeah. That's
some
just
people
like
don't like Marvel cards. Some
There's
people
certain
don't
sets
like.
People don't like.
Yeah, like I have this. For example, I was on Whatnot. Friends of mine, Great Malkin Gaming, they do the historic cards, and I pulled this horsehair DNA card.
Oh yeah.
I I have no interest in keeping this, so it's on eBay. I'm not trying to tout my eBay store. I'm just saying, like, it's just one of those things. It's like, like I bought one pack, and sure enough, it had this card in it, which, probably people do collect, but I don't want something else's DNA on a card. Honestly, that's just my thoughts. I'm not going to clone any Belmont Stakes winners, and they even have some cards that have like historical figures, like Harrison Ford's hair. I don't want to.
Weird.
It's just weird. It's just really weird. I mean, hey, but if somebody loves that, hey, more power to them. And collect what you enjoy. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, off my soapbox.
Fun fact: you actually need the root of hair follicle to get the DNA.
Yeah,
there's not really actually any DNA in the hair apparently. It's interesting.
And my plans for world domination have now been thwarted. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not getting that horse. That's a one-time only.
I'm gonna get this weird spaghetti-looking monster come out of like the fly pod, and
I think to Ryan's comment here, that's kind of like when we asked Oak earlier, like what kind of percentage do you see as like people that play the game versus those that are collectors / investors? And I put those two together because if you're a collector, you kind of are an investor too because you're holding that long time. Whether you're concerned about the value or not, you're investing in that because you're spending your money on it. But yeah, I mean, like Oak said, he thinks it's probably like 5% of the people that are out there actually play the game. Everybody else throws the stuff in a box and looks for the hits.
Yep.
Well, binders. I mean, there's an insane amount of kids with binder collections and adults with binder collections. Like people love the artwork. Like that's it. Like there is,
except for that one set.
There's a couple that aren't fantastic, but there's always good cards in it. It's just sometimes the whole set isn't fantastic.
Even that one weird drawing, the weird black and white drawing set.
So bad. Unigaba.
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad. You showed us the pictures of that. That was so bad. It looked like a 3-year-old was drawing those things.
So bad. People are paying $50 a card for that raw right now, and it's trash. That's crazy. Pokemon is like nothing else. It's insane. It really is. It's insane. They printed over 9 billion cards last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So William asked a question earlier. He asked if we saw the Marvel movie and Disney pushbacks. Like they pushed a lot of movies back quite a bit.
But they pushed Deadpool up.
I know. They moved one movie up by like 3-4 months, 6 months, something like that. Yeah. They moved it up. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's something to do with this whole changeover. Maybe it's got something to do with the Kang thing. They have to rewrite storylines.
Could be the writer's strike as well, because that's what
writer's strike could be pushing everything back too. Like these movies were still having scripts written, and with the writer's strike, nothing's getting done.
Deadpool 3, Ryan Reynolds can't ad-lib anything at all, so I'm kind of worried about that because that's kind of where he shines is his just random ad-libbing because they have to have a script supervisor and a writer on set to actually go and edit the script. And the script was already written before the writer's strike, so now they have to basically stick to this unless they can actually get the writer's strike taken care of, which I don't think it's going to go anywhere for a while, unfortunately. But I'll say this: they need to pay the writers and the whole use of AI. I don't know if you guys watched yesterday, but Spidey had on the people who were the X-Men writers for X-Men 97.
Yeah, Eric and Julia.
And the not to get off topic here, but the use of AI was brought up, and I could see the look on their face that they're like, "Oh God, no." That's something that people will support AI and say, hey, look, it makes art, it does this, it writes, it does all this stuff, it writes my essays. You're not going to learn anything if you have an AI writing all of your papers, folks, and you're not going to get good content from AI. It's going to randomly give you stuff, but it's not going to be an actual person with a soul behind it, actually putting their creative thoughts and ideas into it. So now I'm getting on another soapbox. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like the grumpy old man Dana Carvey sketch from SNL, and I don't like it. Damn hippie kids with their computer-generated doodads and little thingamabobs. Back in my day, you had a charcoal and a pencil, and you just drew on the sidewalk. That was it. We liked it.
Swami says there might be 500,000 of those Yanagabas. 200,000, $50 a card.
Yeah, I mean, what's that? A $10 million market cap on a trash card. Like, There's just no way. It's insane. It's crazy. What I try to grade mostly, I focus on one or the other. So I'm either, well, in fact, one of three things. So I'm trying to grade stuff for me, for my collection. I'm grading stuff that is very low pop or no pop. Yeah, I've graded some stuff into pop ones, which is fun. Pop twos, pop fives, low pop stuff. Or grading stuff that has never been graded, which is already exciting. So I've got some stuff there at the moment that's never been graded. Sat at PSA and it's been in grading stage for like 6 weeks. I don't know what's going on, but they accepted it and they're grading it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what comes back from it. But that stuff to me is fun. Like, it's exciting. The Unigaba, like, everyone's buying it. Everyone's going to try and grade it and sell it and try and make $10 a card profit. Like, it's boring. It's boring to me.
Ryan says, so for all of you that collect, are you not mad about the overproduction of the new sets similar to Spider Metal? As it pertains to, I can't speak about Pokemon because Pokemon's always been largely produced, but even Marvel in the 90s was overproduced as well.
Yeah.
But I think what they're doing, I don't mind the overproduction when it's like retail versions of stuff or lower entry level sets. Overproduce the crap out of that so people can get it and they can get it for a long period of time. That way they can get into it, they can enjoy it, they can start to enjoy the artwork. But you have to have certain sets that aren't overproduced, that have restrictions on them, that are 5, 10, 15,000 boxes. So that way there is rarity within the hobby too, especially with the way we do stuff now, where a set like Flair Ultra Avengers, you end up with however many different parallels, and then you've got Allure with, I think we counted them up, there's like 14 or 15 different parallels of all the cards. It's a lot. So yeah, there's that there. Sam, are you okay? I didn't know your camera wasn't on, so I wasn't sure if you were ready to come in or not.
I'd like to see about Spider-Man Metal. So I went very heavy into Spider-Man Metal, but I didn't pre-order any boxes. I didn't buy when the market was super high. I did EPAC, but I had some insane hits on EPAC that fueled my run. So I was actually going through today and trying to find stuff to, trade basically and sell off, just to kind of fuel hopefully masterpieces in the future. So but yeah, it's all about moderation. If you're finding yourself buying box after box after box that you can't afford, you need to walk away from the computer. I think a lot of people overextended themselves, and we're seeing that on eBay. I picked up a few cards today that were dirt cheap for what they were, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. So that's the thing, It's he's like, I don't want to be a part of this conversation.
He's trolling.
So, but yeah, I'll just say that, like I said, and I think that you just have to be careful. You can get lost in any type of hobby, whether it be, anything. So it's kind of important for you to kind of take a step back and look at what you already have and go, do I need to add on to this pile? Same thing with Pokemon. Do I need to go buy 4, 5, 6 more boxes? So, God, I'm really soapboxing today. I apologize.
No, I was looking all that up. I can't agree more. I'm curious what you guys, if you guys opened like a modern box that just came out, like a Marvel box or something, what would be your intention? Would it be to like fill out a binder? Would it be to grade something collection? Would it be to sell? Would it be to chase a serialized or something special or sketch card or something? What would be the goal if you were to open a box today?
For me, it would be hopefully getting something I want. Like I opened a box of Annual with Josh. Just looking, I had bought like 7 boxes and was looking for one sketch. And on the first box, I hit a Moon Knight, who I PC sketch
awesome
card.
Moon Knight sketch too.
Yeah, and I was just over the moon. So there is that huge hit, in your brain. I got that. So I was hoping to save a few boxes for my nephew and I to open up, but he was never available. And I kept saying, I want to come over. He's like, oh, he's got day camp, or he's going to be doing this overnight thing with his friend. So I was just like, he's going to miss out and open up more boxes with his uncle. So I just bought 2 more Marvel Annual boxes because I sold some cards to somebody. And those will be in the closet behind all the records, hiding. So out of sight, out of mind. And I won't open those until I get with my nephew. But like I said, I did have some good pulls from manual. I had out of 99 Captain America, suspended animation.
Nice.
I had a few autos, and I had that sketch card, which we made a great relationship channel with Ariel Mamani. So,
This
that's
guy didn't
that's
like
the
the
other
way his
thing.
hair looked. He had to go get a hat.
Really?
I mean, like this.
He wouldn't put on the dipper hat. He's just missing
Yeah.
a little tree on it.
I popped out the shower, and I guess I just do the whole Beyonce. I woke up like this, but I don't know what happened with my hair there.
I don't
Now
know
you
what
have
happened
to
with mine
send
either.
all-
I hit the
one of
live
these-
stream and it all
Yeah.
disappeared.
But yeah, no,
Instead
I
of
think
recording
that
the voice chat.
that's the fun thing too about this hobby is that you do make friends. Like I said, I didn't know any of these guys,
Yeah.
and Lewis brought me in, said, "Hey, this is Derp. He's a cool guy. I trade with him all the time, and I made friends with everybody, and I really have enjoyed. This has been like a great thing, especially post COVID, with everybody basically being cooped up and not able to have any real human interaction other than the screen, But even though this is a screen, I hope to meet these guys in the future at a convention, or if I ever go to Salt Lake, hey, I will definitely be knocking on their doors, take them out to lunch. So that's the thing
Well,
too, is also the
Pretty soon
human
you'll have to
interaction.
stop in Kansas on your way. So,
Oh yeah, I have to go straight up and then over.
but yeah, because then you, me, William, we can all hook up and grab some lunch in Salina or something.
I do plan on driving up to Chicago in
There
the
you
next
go.
year, so we can
Yeah,
do
for
tour.
me, when it comes to opening boxes, for me, it's I like the set build. So if I think the art on the set looks pretty decent, and there's certain sets that I just have done over the past couple of years, so I'm going to continue to do those. Like Annual is one of those. I don't necessarily care that much for the base set art, but it's a cheap set, and buy a couple boxes, you can be pretty close to a base set at that point in time. So I can fill a binder with a couple boxes, and then I have to decide if I'm going to go after the inserts and the parallels too. And then EPAC, when that comes out, what do you go after that combinable parallel? Because you do have to pick and choose nowadays. It's not like the 90s sets where you can go, okay, I'm going after all the etch foils, the holograms, and then 3 boxes. I can have all that, right? But yeah, there's that hint of, okay, I want to get a hit so I can sell it to kind of recoup some of those funds, but I don't worry that much about it because, again, I try not to spend more than what I have either set aside or made or sold off to be able to buy the next thing. So it's like, I got stuff around here. We're getting ready to move, so we're selling a bunch of stuff off. And as I sell stuff off, I go, okay, now I can get this card over here, and now I can get this card over here. Now I can order this commission. And
I think that's super important in the hobby. Is selling. I don't think people sell enough. I talked about it on our podcast a little while back, but it evolves you in the hobby because then, just like you said, you learn the skill of selling, but that means you can learn the skill of buying stuff that you really want and trying to hunt down stuff individually instead of trying to open them in packs. You can figure out what works well, what doesn't work well, what's good price, what's bad price. Like by buying and selling, you really start to understand the market and the sets and what things are, are cheap and expensive. You gain skills from it. So, that's awesome. It sounds like you got a good approach to it, both of you, honestly.
And I'm just like we were talking earlier, like when we go into those voice chats in Swami's Discord, like you get Swami in there, you're in there, Newt's in there, you got Dan's in there, and you guys are like big into like card collecting and investing. I'm like, I told those guys last night, I'm like, I'm a minnow in a conversation with a bunch of whales, just trying to learn as much as I can. So
I don't think so.
I do want to expand and have diversity in what I'm collecting and moving, so that way I can keep my hobby stuff growing to get into bigger stuff that I want to get into.
It sounds cheesy, but you just got to enjoy it. Like that's really it. You just got to have fun. You got to enjoy it. It's such a positive thing. There's so many awesome people, like you guys were just saying, like in this. Swam has created a brilliant environment there to like nurture that, like embrace it.
William says he's mad because Ghost Rider and Cable are not in a lot of sets except for Annual. That's about it. Yeah, it's a lot of the sets recently have been very team specific or character specific sets, so you don't get a lot of those crossovers. I don't recall Cable being in the X-Men metal set.
He could have been in. They could have done a little less of that.
Yeah,
in Spider-Man metal instead of getting
there was
Aunt Maeve's PMGs.
Because we got Avengers metal is going to come out eventually, 10, 20 years whenever they finally release it. But there's been leaks of, some people have leaked the blanks out there, so we know the sets are coming, or some people have leaked the information about the sets coming. So we know Avengers metal's coming out, but with the history of X-Men metal and Spider-Man metal, where they did first appearances for the high series, they had so many Avengers already in the Spider-Man metal set. What, you going to use the same art again for the first appearance high series in an Avengers metal set?
Well, a lot of
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of them were like the second appearance.
Oh, were they? Maybe that was intentional then, so that way they could use first appearance in their own set.
Well, I mean, I think like a lot of the Avengers was their first appearance, but like the Spidey, that was second appearance. But
yeah, the Spotlight one, is that the one you're talking about? Because that one replaced the Spotlight one replaced Spot in the set.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So is Avengers Metal going to be? Is that going to be a big dog set? Is that like going to be something you want to buy and get into, or?
I mean, people are going to buy and get into it, but
price.
if you can get in initial pre-orders, because again, it's a metal set. There's going to be PMGs. The prices are going to go up, so get in on that initial pre-order as soon as you can. It sucks because you have money held up for that pre-order, but if you can get a box on that initial pre-order, I think people were saying like Spider-Man metal, they were getting the initial pre-order. Swami were like what, 225 ish,
225. Yeah, I mean there was
compared to 500, 600 towards the end. I mean, that's a big difference. You get twice as many boxes for the same amount of money if you get on that initial pre-order.
Yeah, I mean, in those boxes, they weren't below $100 before like the whole boom or anything. So 200 isn't insane, but it's all about like the price you can find them at. I wouldn't buy a box of Spider-Man metal for $600.
It's tough to even justify buying a box of Spider-Man metal at like whatever it is now, like 300 or whatever it's going for right now.
Super fun box, but it's not. That's just too much money, right? Like you pull a Daily Bugle, and like if it's $150 for a box, that's a lot of fun, with all the great base cards and everything. But it's just too much money.
Or you could pull one of these.
What are you showing us, Matthew?
Grumpy old man card here. Get off the lawn!
Tinker.
Yeah. That's the problem. Is $600 if you're buying this. Yeah, you're pretty upset.
It is a lot. Like, I mean, when you look at X-Men metal, yes, the PMG foiling wasn't the best. The condition of the cards weren't the best. The condition of Spider-Man metal was barely even better. But 200 of that primary chase set is too many, right? And I think that really hurts people's opinions of the values of the cards. Now, we've seen a lot of PMGs across the board come down quite a bit.
So, well, I mean, a lot of them nobody wants, like Mr. Get Off My Lawn over there.
Alistair Smite.
I did pull this. Pick up this
That's
one
a good one.
About $260, I think, is what I paid for that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not buying any boxes at all for Spider-Man metal.
That Discord link I dropped in the chat there, guys, that goes to Swami's Discord. So head over there, join that up. If you're a part of Spidey's, you'll want to be a part of Swami's as well. They're both great places to hang out.
Yeah, if you're into Pokemon, check out Oaks too. I like Oaks Pokemon Discord. But I mean, talking about Pokemon,
Oaks got a Pokemon Discord.
Don't show mine when we're on a mall.
I don't even know.
No, I don't.
Swami, send me the link. I'll drop it in chat.
I'll drop it in chat.
You can't.
I can't.
No, I won't let you post links.
I feel bad. I don't want you guys shilling my stuff for it.
Oh, we do that for everybody. We shill everybody.
The master of shill.
Everyone, man.
It's all about sharing, man. It's all about
the master of shill. I am
a
shill. Like part of my human being, part of my body, my soul is SHILL. So don't worry about it. But I think one thing Pokemon does
is the whole reason that Wolverine hologram went to 4K the other day. Oh. He spoke it into existence, and in 3 seconds.
Did that get paid for?
Power of influence.
I don't know. I didn't look to confirm it.
But
William's absolutely right. Yeah. I guess it depends. Yeah, because like I said, I set build, but nowadays I have to pick and choose from each set what I want to set build. So if I open a couple boxes to get the majority of my set, I can then go after the singles of that. But yes, character collecting, buying singles, we've always said it. That is the most cost efficient way to get what you want.
I think hobby boxes are gonna, like, what Pokemon does well is everything is the same and it's available everywhere. And I think Marvel needs that. When all these blaster boxes in Targets and Walmarts, like that's good, because you don't have to have major out of 10 hits in every product, right? I mean, that stuff you can oversaturate anyway. So I mean,
well, I do like what they did. So like the last 2 sets that came out in Target, you had, not counting annual, but you had Fleer Ultra Avengers, had the out of 549 oranges, and then you had Allure went super short print with it. They went out of 23 pinks in the blaster boxes. So I mean, they made that a much more rare hit. The boxes are $10 more a box than what they were for. Oh no, I guess they're the same price for that. The annual was the one that was $20. But
Chris Foreman last night pulled a Lady Sif pink out of 23 autograph.
Sweet.
So,
oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
like he was just, him and his wife went to Target. And he said, I did a thing. And I bought some blaster boxes, and we're sitting there cheating him on. He's just like, he pulled a Drax Infinity Stone, which is like a $13 card, I think, for the Soul Stone. But he hit that. He's like, he didn't realize what it was. He just kind of was put aside. It's like, go back. So that's the thing. Like, I just, but you're not going to have those type of hits in every box. So you're seeing those hits, and you get the itch to go.
And that's
buy
the
a
thing
box.
like some of the content, when you're opening a live box, you're sharing everything.
Yep.
When you're getting the Instagram reels and all you get is the hits, that's where it gets a little dangerous, because all you're showing is the positive aspects of a box rip. You don't show well, we just opened this box and we didn't get crap out of it. But then you open the next box and you get something good out of it, right? So William says Upper Deck puts, I'm paraphrasing his statement here, Upper Deck basically puts the non-sport stuff on the back burner and focuses on the sport stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's their jam. That's what makes them the most money, even though Marvel does make them quite a bit of money. Spidey said something about it last night, if I recall right, where they can't print hockey players on the cards until they actually skate on ice for the team. I think he said during the show last night.
So no prospect.
That can affect when sets get released and stuff, because if they're waiting to release a specific hockey set, they may already have the cards printed, but they can't release that, or they can't print it even until that happens. And now that you hit the off season, well, when's that going to happen again? So now you got to plan your sets around that. Yeah, that's tricky.
Could you?
Marvel's easy, right? It's throw art on cards and print it.
Yeah, artwork creation. Could you see Fanatics dabbling in any non-sport stuff?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
They're doing
which ones? That's
they're doing Star Wars. They're doing like
Tops has Star Wars.
They own Tops.
Yeah. Well, Fanatics has Tops.
Yeah, Fanatics owns Tops, and Tops owns Star Wars. So as far
as
I think,
Star Wars, I think they announced they were doing 12 sets this year. It might be 8 sets, but I think it was 12. It was a lot. They announced that their Tops annual thing, and some of it's going to be like Mandalorian TV show. Some of it will be like Obi-Wan TV show.
They did Book of Boba Fett. I know that they did. The different Chrome and whatever sets, and I'm worried about oversaturation. Like I grew up in the 90s, so I was there working in a comic book shop when Valiant and Image, all these other comic book creators were releasing chromium covers, holofoil covers, and it just sat there because there were so many different variants, and that's what killed the comic book market, is oversaturation. I worry. I kind of see we're kind of in this starting to slid up just a little bit with EPAC, especially because I think that they're seeing that they're not going to get the same revenues they got before, like Spider-Man Metal, because product is sitting on shelves. I'm sure David Adams reports back or gives some information to Upper Deck on what their inventory is. It says, we're not selling as many boxes of this anymore. We had to drop them down. I would expect Spider-Man Metal to be at $250, honestly, in a few months for another sale, like the 4th of July or another holiday sale or even Black Friday. we would probably see a huge dip on a lot of box prices.
I
Yeah,
was
it's crazy
watching
how
that.
quick Spider-Man metal came down too, because like even
Yeah.
X-Men metal, that's been out for a while now, and I mean that's still
Yep.
holding that 450 to 400 or
Well, it was
450
20,000 boxes less.
Yes,
Yeah.
less. Yeah.
It was like half the print run. But I was watching a video on the Star Wars, and he was going through a lot of products, basically just on David Adams and what's available. And there's a lot of products, mainly from like those TV shows, and not like the hobby finest or legacy or something. But yeah, it's starting to sit. I mean, you kind of see. I turned on Twice Big Jake the other day for Pokemon, and I haven't watched Twice Baked Jake in over a year. And there was a video, I can't remember what he titled it, but it caught my attention because he said basically a lot of stuff's going to be cheap going into like the end of the year around the holidays. A lot of these sets are going to be put on sale. And did you see that, Oak?
Yeah, but
did?
it kind of happens. And then we talked about the 151 set. When that comes out in English, it does a complete 180. Like it'll flip and everything will go crazy. Everyone will be chasing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question for chat. Has anybody else had issues getting into Upper Decks E-Pack? Like logging in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the printers they had a lot of. I never found out if they added more printers. I know Pokemon bought printers. They bought a printing company in 21, 22, and Upper Deck. They were all fighting each other, like all the sports card makers were fighting each other for printing space to get their sets printed. Upper Deck, it seems like all of a sudden they've got a lot of product becoming available. So it's kind of like there's a boom. The companies are trying to catch up, and they want to print more. That is a process. It doesn't just flip overnight, especially when everyone already demanded that they work overtime, and I want all the printing capacity possible. So they're getting to that point where they're starting to reach the capacity to be able to print to demand. They're going to overprint, and then they'll cut it back. But like for Pokemon right now, I think they went from 9.1 billion in 2021 to 9.7 billion in 2022. That wasn't a massive increase in the amount of cards printed. You saw they didn't, like for Marvel, you went from 33,000 boxes in X-Men metal to 50,000 boxes in Spider-Man metal. So they'll keep increasing the print runs, and then they'll hit demand and they'll pull back. Just like the junk at wax era, you had multiple companies printing. A lot of them just straight up dropped out, went bankrupt. And the ones that were remaining, they also cut back on their print runs. So we've gone through a boom, and there's a lot of things still booming, but they will overshoot demand, and then they'll have to cut back.
Yeah. Once they kind of figure out where that line is that as far as what's selling, what stores are having, because like every time they come to do a drop, MJ Holdings or whoever's doing the drops at those retail stores has to then kind of report back like this is what they still have, and then this is what we had that we can't even put out on the shelves because there's not room for it because now the stuff's not moving anymore.
And this is what was stolen, which is normally Pokemon cards. Because I literally,
and the Pokemon shelves look like a disaster every time I go into the store. I walked
into a Target to look for Spider-Man Metal Blasters one time, and I'm like picking up all the open packs, and they thought I was MJ Holdings. So I gave them to the manager, like standing there, and I'm like, "Yeah, these are all open. This is all open."
I found that sometimes, like with some sports stuff, like baseball stuff that you didn't typically see, they started moving the cards back to the toy sections. And pick up the box, and it's like, "Oh, cool, there's that one." And you pick it up, and it's like empty. And then you look, and it's the bottom's like pushed in and everything, so they set it right back on the shelf, so you never even notice until you pick it up.
I always bring it to the front. I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm on camera. Found this. Maybe it's a sign for you guys to stop putting it in the toy section back there in the back where people are, Yeah, and else too, I find like all the time. So if you ever go, you go like Marvel Legends hunting, Nathan. Do you ever look under the bottom shelf and find like treasures that somebody's hidden under there from like 7-8 years ago?
It just sits there. Yeah.
It just sits there, and like then you go to the front register and like, well, it's at a penny or it's at like 30 cents. We can't sell it to
Mhm.
you, but then you kind of negotiate, and you're like, I got a Guardians like from Guardians 1 Lego set.
Are you talking like lifting up the shelf?
Yes.
And look,
You
no,
lift
I've
up
never
the
lifted
shelf.
up the shelf and looked
So
under there.
yeah, pro tip,
Usually
everybody.
people
On a
will-
project,
usually
lift
people
up
will
that
take the stuff
shelf.
and they'll
You'll
hide
find
it
a
in a
treasure
complete-
trove of stuff people have hidden there.
Yeah. People
So
will usually take the cards and they'll like,
Yeah.
they know people that are sports fans or whatever collect Pokemon.
Mhm.
They'll take the cards and they'll hide them behind like towels or something
Yeah.
in a different department, and then
Yeah.
they'll message their friend, "Hey, the boxes are over here." So that way they can go get them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna print to meet that demand one day, and it'll be, and then that'll go away, and then they'll cut back print runs.
Well, look at EPAC right now. We haven't had a being FUA and other sets. We have no
Yeah, me
idea.
neither. It's not working for me either. I've tried it on a couple different browsers, and I've tried it on
Yeah.
a couple different devices. So
I
maybe
was going to
Fleer
give away
Ultra
some
Hockey
comic books
broke the
tonight,
internet.
but I can't even access EPAC, so I can't see my dupes right now, unfortunately.
Well, Fleer Ultra Hockey came out today, and that's a big
Ah.
product for hockey.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
maybe it broke the internet like Marvel does on Mondays.
Yep, it probably did.
But an announcement that Upper Deck did release today, starting on the 16th, I think is what I read.
Yep.
Across the Spider-Verse Weekly comes out.
At noon
So
Pacific
weekly packs will
time.
be coming out starting on the 16th. Kind of like what they did with the Guardians sets and whatnot. So
And
be
Ant-Man,
interesting.
stuff like that.
I don't
Black
think I'm going to buy
Panther
too
and
many.
Thor.
I haven't even seen the movie yet. But
I know you've like. I didn't.
you guys
like
can
the first
spoil
one.
it for
Okay,
me all you want. I'll still
I'm
go
gonna
watch it.
give
It's just
you my
weird.
login to go and watch Across the Spider-Verse from the comfort of your own couch, so you can enjoy it and not be worried about. Like, pop some popcorn,
Too many people.
get a Coke,
I mean,
sit there, get the Clockwork Orange like Ludwig von Beethoven thing going, so you don't
3
blink.
shots of espresso.
So, but you
3
need to
shots
watch
of
it again.
espresso.
I think honestly, I think maybe you
Sure.
just were tired.
You can't
Well,
do that.
I watched Into the
You
Spider-Verse.
can't do that with me.
I
on
got to go
the
watch Across the Spider-Verse now.
I'm gonna meme the hell out of that. The Clockwork Orange, I'm gonna have that clipped, and I'm gonna use that anytime I want somebody to go.
Dude,
look awesome.
I have a clip picture of Justin where he's looking at the cards with his daughter, and his daughter said something awkward. He was like, I've got that saved. I made it my background one time for a while, actually, too. I have like 6 monitors at work, so I was like, this one will be the Justin monitor right there. So
So I want to go back to something that Swami had mentioned, like how Pokemon has it the same everywhere. Your pull rates are kind of the same no matter what kind of product you buy, right? Now it does feel like certain versions of products hit better than others. Booster boxes seem to hit really well. The triple blisters seem to hit really well. But ETBs are a very, or at least feels like a very, very hit and miss sort of system, right? But I do like the fact that Pokemon has a whole bunch of different versions and that they sell the single packs, they sell the triple blisters. I think they have like a double pack blister on some of the products. They sell the little tiny boxes now with like several packs in them. They sell the ETB boxes and they sell the booster boxes, which is essentially their hobby box, right? And then the ETB boxes, I would equate that to like a sports mega box. You have the little tiny boxes, which is like a blaster box. And then you have like the triple blisters is like a cello or a hanger pack, basically. And then you have the single packs, which is like a cello. So sports kind of have a similar setup. They just call it a whole bunch of different things, right? And they all have those same similar tier price levels and stuff. Do you think that'd be a route for Upper Deck to look at with Marvel, is going that micro on it when it comes to breaking down like the different types of packs that are available for people to purchase?
Should.
Because like when I was a kid in the 90s, when I started getting into cards, it was basketball. And that was in 1990. And I had like 4 paper routes. I was 10 years old. And I took every penny I made down to the little shopette. And they had boxes of cards behind the shelf, but they weren't selling them as boxes. You could buy a pack for like a quarter or 50 cents back in the day, right? But that's all I would do is I'd just buy individual packs and build my sets that way. And then I found out from the guy at the shop, I finally asked him one day, I was like, hey, can I ever buy a box? He's like, no, not for me, but you can go over to this store and they have boxes. I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know they even sold them as boxes. Like, I just thought the stores got them,
like
you open them up, bought like a pack of gum.
like lower the point of entry for everyone. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be, you know, some really low serialized numbered thing for people to want to collect Spider-Man or whatever, right? And I mean, shoot, people are collecting crazy Pokemon, and like I can't believe that's the collection.
What's up, Adam?
I can't believe some of these people's collections of a slug or a
I pulsate the same thing.
but I mean, not every product has to be. I don't know why they're so hobby focused. I think Upper Deck's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'd have a lot of success with like pulling, you know, being able to have cheap product available for anyone can go grab.
Well, because they've already got, like, with their hockey, they've already got the systems in place because they sell hanger boxes, they sell single packs. I mean, they sell that whole same sports breakdown, you know, that they basically have an equivalent of for Pokemon as well. Not Upper Decks, obviously, but, you know, it's basically the equivalent of what they have available in Pokemon. So I don't know why they couldn't do that with Marvel. I'm just wondering if they may not think there's any sort of demand there for all those different variations.
Well, they also still have limited printer space too. It's not like they still probably can't go out there and do exactly what they want to do. But I think they're heading towards it with the blasters. What's interesting to me is the stuff that goes crazy because Pokemon doesn't offer anything of what Upper Deck offers or Tops. Like signatures, like artists, they'll get bombarded. They'll get like practically attacked, you know, bodies just chasing them out of hotels. And we're talking about like, you know, Japanese artists that you've never heard of, that their signatures are selling for $300, $400, $3,000, $12,000, $20,000, right? You've never heard of them. And what's interesting is like the greats, like Stan Lee, you know, he gets thousands of dollars. He's not getting like $20,000 because it's the right artist with the right Charizard card. But because there is none of that they can't go and pull that side of the market is kind of crazy. I mean, it gets pretty wild. Yeah, just because, just like Luke Skywalker's stuff, I guess he stopped signing a while back, but now he's going back with Tops, and that might be because he's hasn't been signing, and I think I heard a story that he was stopped recently, like outside of his neighborhood, to get signatures, and that might be one of the reasons why he's going back to Tops, to just get his signature on stuff so people stop hounding him. But
it could be, because then it gives them something that they can go and pull.
I've seen some of those videos where like the autograph hounds like will just harass the ever loving crap out of like celebrities, you know, even people who are much older and like in their 80s, you know, who are coming to a restaurant, they're like pushing and shoving and just trying to get the signature on like a photo.
Now we know where he went.
Like Dave Grohl, like he constantly gets accosted. He's like, I'm not signing shit. Nope. Unless it's for charity. Like, you know, he'll go through an actual organization and he'll do that for that, but he's not signing anything off the street because it's just
there's
it's fueling that bad behavior of those autographs.
RDJ doesn't sign either. You know, there was a couple others in the Allure set that I think it was Mark Ruffalo didn't sign. I think Scarlett Johansson might have been one of those ones.
Wait. You just mentioned that you just threw a couple of names out there. First of all, Dave Grohl, I asked him to marry me in the late 2000s. I had a VIP ticket. I had a lot of Jim Beam, and he had too. And it was backstage after show, and he just looked at me and walked away. Like he didn't even give me like a response.
I have a Dave Grohl story too. So I used to be a field marketing rep for Sony, Sony Music back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I also worked at Warehouse Music, and there was a contest where you had to build the best display for the Learning to Fly album. And I can't remember, it was think it was just Foo Fighters. It was the one with the red logo and the kind of metal. But anyway, so I had gone to Radio Shack and bought like some little like tiny motors, and you could set the speed, like, you know, how fast you want to spin. So I took the posters, and they were the heavy duty, like kind of square flat posters they give you for promotional stuff. I made a biplane out of that, and I hung it above our like listening station, because we had one of those listening stations where you could sit down and from like a 6-disc CD player stack, basically, of like 20 of them, you could choose what you wanted to listen to. So I had set that up, and I had won a contest to go to stand on the side of the stage. And I had gotten from a friend of mine, they have a thing called a Cajun in your pocket, which is a little Cajun noisemaker. And it goes, aye, aye. Or you got to suck the head off the crawfish. And it's like, another phrase is like, I love you like a pig likes corn. So we got to stand on the side of the stage. So we met, Lenny Kravitz was there, Adam Durant, I think is his name, from Counting Crows, the lead singer with the dreadlocks. So we got to meet those guys, and then as they went on, his Chili Peppers were touring with him too. So I gave one to Flea, and he like looked at it. He came back out and thanked me like after I gave it to him as he was running off the stage. And then Taylor Hawkins, as he was running off the stage, I gave one to him. He looked at it and he's like nodded and said thanks. We stood around for a few minutes just talking, and they came back out, and Dave was like he's like, I love this. So Dave Grohl had a Cajun in your pocket noisemaker toy from me, along with Flea from the Chili Peppers. So that was, I didn't get to go backstage, unfortunately, but yeah, that was my little like kind of like celebrity encounter with him. And then I also saw them again, and I ran into them when they were filming Sonic Highways, which was their album for HBO, where they went to different cities and they recorded a song per city, basically. So they went to like they went to New Orleans, they went to LA, they went to Seattle, New York, and they recorded at David Bowie's studio where he recorded a lot of his albums. And saw them on the street, and I ran to him and said, "Hey, I saw you guys play blah blah blah. And I had that Cajun in your pocket I gave you." He remembered the noisemaker because Taylor gave it to him, and he kept it. So he owns the Cajun in your pocket now. So I don't know if he still has it, but it was just one of those funny little encounters, where some almost 20 years later you run into somebody and mention that, and it just triggers one of those core memories, I guess.
Yeah, he won't remember me.
Not with as much as he had.
There's no way. You said Mark Ruffalo too. I met him.
Yeah.
I served him coffee at one of the restaurants that I ran. He came in, and he was a really cool guy. He was letting customers take selfies with him and stuff. He was a really sweet guy. Yeah.
I have one other. I guess we're sharing celebrity stories real quick. So I have one other story. I worked at another music store in 1996 in Mandeville, Louisiana, which was my hometown. And we had a store called the Compact Disc Store, where we just mainly had compact discs and a few mini discs and some records. And we closed at like 6 o'clock. But we always had people coming by and knock on the door and asking, "Hey, your clothes going to come in?" One night, I was closing up by myself, and I knock on the door. There was this guy. He looked kind of familiar. Older African-American gentleman, not really older, maybe his 40s. I was in my teens when this happened. And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm shutting stuff down, but if you want to come look out for a minute, that's fine." And I'm like, back in my, like, I know who this person is. It was Samuel L. Jackson. He was filming a movie called Eve's Bayou down in the state park in Madisonville, which is just down the road about 5 miles away. So he came in and he's like, "Well, what do you recommend?" And I was starting to get into jazz a lot. I was listening to Donald Byrd, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Jimmy Smith, who's a great jazz organ player. And so I put his stuff on. We could open it and restill CDs. So we would send them back if they didn't sell. We just had to like pop the bottom and kind of flip them over so we didn't break that seal on the top of the CD. So for you kids, CDs is a circular disc that you used to put in machines and listen to music or movies on. So I recommended a bunch of stuff, and he bought like $180 worth of CDs, but he had 2 stacks. And the other stack he said was for me. So he bought me a whole stack of the stuff I had recommended for him if we had duplicates of it. And I still have those CDs to this day. So cool. Yeah, man, that was probably one of the the highlights of working in music was to meet Samuel L. Jackson just completely randomly, you know. Which was-
He's still in music.
Huh? No. Yeah, I know. I work for the government now, so
Sorry, my wife.
I got tired of working in like a job where it was just like, you know, the field marketing rep thing was terrible. I had to go to a R&B station and convince them that Jessica Simpson was a crossover artist and that she actually was a R&B station artist.
PSA 6.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was perfect, Oak. God damn, the delivery was just beautiful.
The link that I dropped there, that is the link to Mr. Oak's Discord.
Too kind.
So run that up, run his joins up.
Yes. Good join.
iPullWire says his LCS has hobby boxes collecting dust on the shelf. Owner told him that annual blasters are what's selling for him. At $20 a box, that makes complete sense because people can get in there, they can enjoy them.
Yep.
How many packs are for that $20?
I think it's 6.
Oh,
yeah, it's 6 packs.
It's 5 or
Solid.
6 packs. You get
It's got to be 6. I don't think they do 5.
you get a good amount of blue. I think you get like 3 blues or something like that from the box, 3 or 4 blues.
Blues
a couple
are great looking too.
The blues are amazing. So the blues are really, really cool. So there's the blues. The foil on them is just really awesome. One of the best inserts for a base parallel that I've seen in a while.
I definitely
Got that
prefer
nice
that over
rainbow
the
foil
canvas.
on 'em. Oh
Like, I
yeah,
wish
I mean the
they
canvas
put
is
that in
essentially
there.
their replacement for the tiers that they had last year,
Yeah.
and then they added the silver and then the blues for the retail.
So why don't they? So like, what do you
Blue in
think?
each pack. Yeah, there you go.
What do you think? I mean, there's no way they could. You think to yourself, there's no way they could print as much as Pokemon and just. If they put annual, I feel like kids would want to collect annual, but there is something special about Pokemon that maybe it's the games, you know.
It's the cartoons as well, because they do have the cartoons that are there.
Yeah,
It's just like when we were kids
it's
in
everything.
the 80s, you know, when Transformers and G.I. Joe, those were not cartoons for kids. Those were commercials. That
It is everything.
They skirted around the whole, like, because there was a thing that you couldn't advertise toys in a TV show. So what they did was they attached those G.I. Joe PSAs at the end of the show, basically, or some type of PSA on a show if they were selling some kind of toy. That's the way they skirt around that. There's like those I Love the 90s, and they have those videos which talks about like G.I. Joe and He-Man, stuff like that.
But
you know,
Pokemon, like the games, sure. I don't think the show is anything to scoff at, but I know like a lot of like, well, if you think about from basically like the movies, kids love these movies. They love the backpacks. I see kids with backpacks, Marvel t-shirts all over the place. There is something special about Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
That even if they're not playing the game, there's something about collect them all, collect all the Pokemon in the game, and I don't know. It's like
it's that cartoon brainwashing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I can't wait for the new X-Men cartoon to come out. Because I think it's gonna expose kids more to Marvel than even the movies do, because they're gonna actually be able to see the comic book versions of these characters.
Yeah,
versus just the real life actor versions of them.
I'm
I
really
think that's going
forward
to draw
to
more people into the cards.
That Cyclops, dude. I mean, the kids would just lose their shit.
I hope that I would love if they would make an X-Men animated series card set.
Yeah,
that would just be so cool.
I asked that last night. I was like, "Hey, is there any possibility?" I mean, they couldn't really say anything because of the NDA, but like I brought that up, and yeah, I would love to see a X-Men in '97
right
that come out.
I agree, Chavals.
I love that.
iPullWire just said that his kid pulled a sketch out of a blast.
Yeah, pulled a sketch, and it was a She-Hulk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really awesome. Like I think I opened 7 hobby boxes of annual and then like 6 blasters. I haven't pulled a sketch yet. And my hobby shop, same way. My hobby shop has blaster boxes for $20 because he was able to get them essentially for the same price that Walmart and Target get them for, so he could sell them at the same price as those places. So then people come into the shop didn't have to go to Walmart and Target to get the blasters; they could just get them at the shop. And then I think he was at like 85 on the hobby boxes. But after you open 7 hobby boxes, it's like, what am I opening it for at that point, other than just the hit cards? Because I've got the set, so I don't need those cards. But what I would do, like with my Pokemon, is anytime I'd open Pokemon, because I wasn't collecting Pokemon other than a couple characters, is I would just take all those and make little grab bags with like put more hits in that little grab bag than you would actually get out of a pack and more cards, and then just turn around and sell them for like $1 at the card shows to the kids.
Yeah.
And then like any extra amounts of like a lot of base, the kids would come up to the table and they'd start flipping through there, and the parents would be there and look at mom and dad and be like, if it's all right, they can take as many of those as they want.
Yeah.
Just take them. So, and they love that. You know,
I plan on doing that too. There's a little card comic thing coming up in like 2 or 3 months near me, and I'm just making grab bags of Spider-Man metal cards and other stuff, like annual. Just like if I see a kid, ask what's your favorite character, I'll have a Miles one, I'll have a Wolverine, I'll have Spider-Man, I'll have just other characters, and I'll throw some other random inserts in there. I'm hoping that sparks, like I've said before, Halloween. Any kid who's dressed as a certain like character, like Thor, Spider-Man, whatever, Iron Man especially, I've made grab bags for kids, and I have one of these giant like PVC tubes, like one of those COVID like launch your candy through a tube thing, and I just slide those down. It goes right into their little
Hopefully we're past that.
And like the kids look at it, and they look at me, and they're like, "What is this?" And the parents are like, "What are these?" And I'm like, "Those are marble cards."
Hey kids, stand at the end of this tube real quick.
Yeah. Oh man, I've thrown candy and look down, and I like hit a kid with a Snickers bar right in the head before. So
way to go, man!
Yeah, it's really awesome after that. I pelted a child with candy, so
we're poorly situated. So like the kids, they're not swinging by.
Yeah,
it's like not worth it to go out of their way to get like the 2 houses, right? So literally every year it'll be one kid that at the end of the night I'm like, take the whole thing, just take the whole thing.
There you go. Thanks for stopping by.
Put like road flares out in front of your house, with like a laser light show. Like that's what
we're all taking a road trip to Swami's house for Halloween this year.
Candy tube I made actually has like LED lights that are in a pattern that flash and everything, and I have like these little like motion activated, like I'm one of those guys who goes Griswold for Christmas. Like every year when Lowe's has stuff on clearance, I bought a 9-foot tall St. Bernard inflatable for $30. I don't own a St. Bernard, but it was like, holy shit! I can't pass up this gigantic inflatable, which is normally $180 or $200 for $34. They had a Millennium Falcon one too, but this lady beat me to it, and it was $34, and I was so mad because it was
every year when the space heaters go on sale, I buy them and flip them the next winter season.
Oh yeah, there's stuff you can buy that like I go to slickdeals.net, and like they always have, you can set up deal alerts for certain things, like, and whenever like Home Depot or other stores like Lowe's have,
we're getting into the reselling business
huge
now.
Clearances. Yeah, man, I'm going in there and
My
I'm
wife
buying
does that
like
too. She buys
things,
like
I'm
pallets
listing them on Facebook Marketplace. If I can.
I don't do that. I made a joke once. I can't remember which Discord, and somebody thought I was serious, so I just kept going with the story. Like, yeah, it's rolling up on September.
I think it was
these space heaters. That ice is coming quick. Get them now.
I remember that conversation. Like I literally remember it when you said it. I was like, "Is he doing that thing again?"
I need to see Swami with a space heater in the box in a large acrylic case with a grate on it.
Did somebody really get mad at you for like saying you were going to buy something cheap and then sell it like next year?
Somebody was like, "What do we do now?" or something, and I'm like, "Space heaters." Yeah, it's May. They're on clearance. You flip them in 5-6 months, baby.
The next hot market is box fans.
My 96 Charizards with those
September's come around. Get your space heaters up for sale.
Walmart's putting their space heaters up in a couple weeks. Get them listed.
So my wife's an assistant manager at Hobby Lobby, and she comes home. She's like, "Yeah, we got 2 trucks in. This was on Monday. She got we 2 trucks in today. They were already there when we got there, and it was Christmas stuff." I'm like, "It's freaking June. They're already getting ready."
That
to
whole
put their
Christmas and
stuff. I'm
July
like,
thing needs
what
to
in the
stop.
World.
Whoever started that, I want to that makes me mad.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, man.
brutal. It's like you're skipping so many holidays here.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have a ranking with the PSA registry? Do you know how high up the ranking you are?
I was actually talking at the beginning. Last year. I was at one point number 2 in the world. I don't know where I am now. I've sold a bunch that were overpriced, hoping to buy them back, like because they're starting to dip. So I was hoping to buy them back and like buy them back a lot cheaper than what I'd been selling for. And quite a few are heading that way, so I think it's going to be in a good spot for it. But I don't think I'm probably not even top 10 now, honestly.
That's pretty cool that you were number dose. Do you know who number 1 was?
At that time, I think it was. I don't remember for sure. You know, Jeremy Padua, who he is. He set up. You've heard of Squishmallows?
Yeah,
They're like
Squishmallows,
big
the stuffed
squishy-
animals you can get from like Target and stuff like that.
That's him. He's a huge Pikachu collector.
Wow.
So
What,
he's
the guy that made Squishmallows?
massive. He collects like all different toys and games. He's like huge and is mega rich. He owns one of the biggest like toys in the world right now. That's like going crazy. I mean, they're like gonna be in Arby's and like stuff like not Arby's, McDonald's. Sorry, they're gonna be McDonald's soon and that kind of stuff. They're huge, absolutely massive. So he spends all his money on like rare Pikachu cards, basically. And so
Wow.
he overtook me at one point. But yeah, I don't know where I'm at right now. I'll get back up there. Like long term, I'm gonna be very high up, very, very high up. It's just right now I just couldn't. While the market was still crazy but slightly dipping, I couldn't just sit on them,
Yeah.
knowing there's potential there to make some money.
Yeah, I mean that's where, because you guys were talking about selling earlier, and I think that's where it makes sense. You know, I was talking to somebody today, and he was giving me this spiel about a Nidoking from I think Neo, one of the Neo sets, but he bought it in PSA 10. It was Japanese, and he's like, you know, you can't buy this card. I can't find this card and grade it in a 10. I think it's just you kind of, by selling, you understand the value, right? I mean, somebody in your Discord had like 3 or 4 PSA 10 Moonbreons, and I don't think they're a big seller, whoever they were, because they didn't sell them. And I just thought, I think
all of us will tell him to. He's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, if you could sell all of your duplicates and keep your 1 or 2 of your duplicates and have 2 left, you could make $2,000-$3,000, I think, at the time. And I think it just like selling allows you to recognize what you actually want to collect, and like it even kind of shows you especially when you're grading too, like how hard things are to get and what you don't want to give up when you are going to sell, like what you are willing to sell, because it just helps you understand so much about your collection.
Yeah,
I think it is important for people to do.
I go weird stuff. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to think what weird stuff I could show you. I've got too much. There's like too many things.
Remember, we may have kids watching, so don't get too weird with it.
I mean, I've got like the
won't be
set
listening
cards. There's set cards and stuff, but like I have some stickers that were inserted into a loaf of bread in Japan. Like I've got like postcards from like 20 years ago that has a Pikachu on it that like never didn't get used. It's just a random postcard. I have stickers, and like I just sold a sticker I got for like $6. I just sold it for like 90, like on eBay. Like all you got to do is with Pokemon You put it in a PSA slab, and it's worth more money. Like it's that simple. Like I've sold cards over $100 that cost me less than $1 to buy.
That's
Pokemon
crazy.
is a whole other realm when it comes to grading cards
Waifu.
right now, and that's why I just can't fathom holding stuff while it's crazy like that. I can't do it. Like and I'm definitely not buying at the moment. I'm buying CGC stuff. I bought a CGC card a couple of weeks back.
You're kind of big on the whole crossing from CGC over to PSA too.
Yep, and buying in the right place and selling in the right place is big too. You always have to even send it to PSA. I've been making most of my money reselling. It's been funding the stuff I want to buy. Most of it has been buying in one place and selling it in another. Just take it out of a box, put it in another box, a different label.
Right.
It's literally no work, and you can. I between 5 and 10x my money doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because you guys talk about that a lot on your podcast that you do with is it DeGreen Shiz? Is that what his name is?
Josh.
Name is?
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah. His last name's Green, so
okay.
That's his like play.
Add some context to the screen name then.
Yeah, he doesn't say that enough. I don't know why. Like people think he's talking about weed, but it's like this is just his name. Like he's just literally talking about his name. But yeah, I think I don't talk about it enough because I don't want to confuse people because it's not like one particular exact thing. IRS. Oh,
IRS is it. The check.
I'm registered. Yeah, I'm a business. Everything's on the books.
Yeah, if you do any sort of like decent amount of selling, you need to have your stuff set up as at least a sole proprietorship with an accountant or something.
Yeah.
So you can track your expenses.
Yeah, I'm clean as a whistle now. Anyway.
I don't think that
the states are clean as a whistle.
I don't think that difference in CGC PSA holds up. I mean, 5 to 10x is silly, right? If you're taking a card out of a CGC 9.5 or a 9, and you take it out of a CGC case and you put it in a PSA 10 case, like 5 to 10x, that discrepancy is too high. It's too much. I get
short term. It's not gonna last.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, look at how much Pokemon can cost all over the place. Why spend like if the card is just as good in a CGC 9.5 case as a PSA 10 case, people will naturally just like loft, like over to CGC because they're getting it at 5 to 10x cheaper.
The prices have increased. I was buying this time last year. I was buying Japanese Pikachus in CGC slabs and crossing them over to PSA, and I was buying them for $20-$25. This particular one, and by the time I got them back, the PSA slabs of it were over 200. It was literally 10x, like what I purchased for a CGC. And that gap is closed. Then that exact same card in that exact same grade is now 60 to 70. It's still the PSA has dropped a little. The gap is closing. So it is actually going that way. I've seen it firsthand. I track it. I use that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a big part of what I do. But the other thing is, it doesn't always have to be a CGC slab. It doesn't always have to be an SGC or whatever. I mean, I've got raw cards for free from Pokemon Center, like promos. I sold special delivery Bidoof for $750, and it cost me $0. Like some of
special
it's just,
delivery Bidoof.
Yeah, $750. I sold it in less than an hour.
Raw?
No, I sent it to PSA.
Okay, but still, oh my
PSA.
God!
I mean, it cost me nothing.
Yeah, William's kind of on the same track with you guys. Like long-term CGC, that's what he meant there. But right now it's PSA. I think eventually, the mindset has to get away from it. Has to say 10 on the label. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you can cross the majority of the 9.5s over and get PSA 10s. It's just that 9.5 grade in the brain isn't as good as the 10.
What I don't like about CGC is the 10 and then the perfect 10. Like you have whatever it is, the pristine 10.
And Beckett's the same way. Yeah,
It's
Becca's
just,
the same
it's
way.
just, yeah. That always like I, and the other thing too I wanted to interject is so I've seen like some cards that were like PSA 6s and 7s for Spider-Man Metal and other X-Men Metal sets like that. I do a lot of tracking on eBay. I look at like a lot of auctions because I have a lot of free time sometimes, and I've seen a card sell that was like a PSA 6, and then the person cracked it and just took better photos of it and listed it as a raw card and actually sold it for $100 more.
Yeah, I think that cutoff is at 7. I think it like
Yeah.
if we use like PNGs as an example,
Mhm.
I think 7s used to be kind of like the equivalent to raw. I think now
Yeah.
8s are getting to that point where more and more people they want 10s.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have been seeing 9s and 9.5s on a lot of the current PMGs, whether that's a change in how they're grading them, because it can't possibly be condition, right? I mean, we've seen how those cards are cut.
I have a Wolverine Orange high series from Spider-Man Metal that I got a 7, and I cracked it. I'm going to make a video with the microscope, and I don't see how it got a 7. Centering is fine.
Send it back in.
The thing is, though, I don't know if they're keeping track of the actual numbers. Possibly,
may possibly.
Because the worst case, they're going to give you they're going to give you the same grade.
Yeah,
they are tracking.
They will regrade though. They will regrade. They're not just going to automatically give you a 7.
Okay.
If it's a 9 or a 10, they'll grade it right, and it's not a perfect exact science.
Yeah.
Another thing, I was thinking of something else too. Something that True Blue was talking about. I can't remember. Never mind. It was something like.
Can I? While you think about that, real quick, Swami, CGC has some big news next week.
Are we getting pricing discounts?
Are they grading Dragon Ball Z Score? I think that might be it.
You don't work for them. Spill the beans, man.
I actually live really close. I'm like literally 10 minutes away from them.
I know. Just tell them you heard it when you walk by the door.
You're gonna have a knock on your door in 10 minutes.
You know? Do you know what it is?
I interviewed the president.
Yeah. But do you know what this news is?
He was telling us in Orlando when we were there. We were a couple of drinks, 2 a.m. Yeah, I know. I'm really scared.
Well, that's his fault.
You don't have to give it up if you don't want to.
But it's good.
So, like I said,
all right. So they're doing like a black label. Oh yeah,
it's a good thing. Good things are coming.
All right, cool.
All right.
I don't know.
Let's see what chat's got going on here.
For sure, what's happening next week? There might be more than 1 week where things happen. I'll say.
All
that.
right.
Okay.
So now we'll have some good news to come out then. All right. So Southern Hype says 9.5 CGC Japanese Dream League GX Secret Rare. He cross-graded it to a PSA 10. It's not a 2K card. He got the CGC slab for $120 a year ago, and now it's a 2K card. It's now a 2K card. That's what he meant. It's not.
Yeah.
He meant that it's now a 2K card. Okay, cool. Anything PSA 8 on Spider-Man Metal is a godsend. I think so too. I mean, I think it's better than Raw.
That's what I was gonna talk about.
Yeah. The condition stuff. Yeah.
It would be nice if it's just not possible. Like with Rittenhouse inserts, there are no PSA 10s, right? Mm-hmm. They gave PSA 10s out in the 90s. Like, so you can find those PSA 10s, super old cert numbers. They didn't give a shit because no one gave a shit back then. Actual true collectors that just wanted the card in a slab sent it in. So they didn't care because their PSA 10 wasn't worth the cost of grading when the person got it back, right? So there's PSA 10s out there, but there are no PSA 10s for a lot of these Rittenhouse inserts. It'd be really nice if one of these grading companies could go, like SGC does a very good job on like vintage baseball cards, vintage sports cards. Right. They actually do grade lighter when they should, because a set was produced a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. But it would be nice, but it's not a perfect science. Maybe if they do get AI in grading, maybe that could help them. Like, hey, this has never graded. We have 0 10s. We have 0 10s graded after the year 1999. Maybe we should go lighter or something like that. Or maybe for new sets,
they can start to register fairly quickly what
Yeah.
a set should grade compared to
And it's
how it's produced.
like you said, it's so what is it, subjective that or objective that like you don't know, like the grader that day, depending on their mood, can determine what your grade outcome is. And there's not like you can go to PSA and they say, okay, this is the breakdown.
I don't agree with
PSA
that.
10's got to kind of meet this. PSA 9's got to meet this. PSA 8's got to meet this. But there's not like the nick on the side of the card can only be like this big that you can sit at home and measure that to then kind of grade your card. Like you can go, okay, yeah, there's a small little dot here. It's a 9. But then when they get it, they could be like, that dot makes it an 8.
The microscope.
Yeah, I picked one up myself.
People say all the time that guy like had a beer on his lunch, or he had an argument with his wife the night before, or this or that. I have a 100% success rate of crossover grading into 10s. I have never sent a card that I've bought from a CGC slab and sent to PSA and not got a 10.
Oh, I'm not talking about crossover. Just setting raws in general. Like
they were
Matt's
raw, cracked on
microscope. He can look at that card and not find a single flaw in that. Zoomed in way farther than the graders will zoom in on that card, right? And then they can look at that card and he could get a card back as an 8.
Mm-mm.
I think grader fatigue does come into play
at all
as well because, like, we don't know how many cards that person's looking at in bulk submissions.
Yeah,
and they may be at the point where like everybody's getting an 8. Like
what's your largest submission, Oak?
132, 3, something like that.
And like I've had submissions like north of 500, and it's like I'll never do that again. I think I'm gonna start sending all my submissions in like 40 to 50 and just box multiple submissions in the same box, because it's literally like maybe the grader's different, right? Like they grade half of it and then they leave for the day, or they come back in the morning and it's just different, right?
That's the thing. We don't know the process. The only thing we've seen is a video from like the early 2000s, late 90s in the process when they were first getting flat screen monitors. Mm-hmm. So PSA doesn't really do any type of like, hey, this is a behind the scenes video showing you how we make the sausage, which I would love to see. I would love them to be a little more transparent in their processes and show us like, hey, this is how the room looks. This is the average queue per day that the grader has to go through. We don't give the grader 300 cards, 400 cards a day to have to look at. Because, I mean, that's a human being that's probably being driven insane by looking at so many cards per day and having to make a judgment. How many are they
grading a month, Oak?
In May, they graded 1,010,000 cards, PSA.
That's a lot.
456,000 TCG and non-sports.
How long do you think they're spending on each card?
Seconds.
Exactly. Seconds.
Yeah, literally seconds. I think the thing for me is I really haven't seen grades personally myself that I've submitted and sent in that I really disagree with. And the ones that I have, I've cracked them, and now I've been like, okay, that makes sense. Like 99% of cards that I've got graded, even the low grade ones, yep, I can see it. Yep, I can see it. Yep, I can see it. And I pre-grade very detail focused. I mean, you guys obviously have the microscope.
But that's the thing though. Like if you pre-grade as hard as you say you do, then in reality you shouldn't get those kinds of grades back, right?
I'm not always chasing 10s. Some cards I know. I can't get a raw version that would be a 10.
Like with the grading companies, the only thing that we have that's like a definitive, these are the guidelines, is the centering, right? Yeah. It's like these are your percentages for centering. That's the only thing we have that's a clear and cut guideline, because you can pull 10s with a dark card and see a white corner, and it
can have a white spot.
Yeah,
on PSA's guidelines it says it can have a white spot on a 10.
Right, it just has to not be like visually detracting from the card.
My biggest concern is kind of what Swami was saying about earlier. Some of that older stuff that's still happening. I had a base set Pikachu that was a 10 and it had 5 white spots. That's more concerning to me is buying a 10 and it not being a 10 than buying a 9 that should be a 10, because
I think that's
the
my
card-
biggest dislike with PSA is like how many cards you do see in that 10 that you can look at it from an eBay picture and go, that's not a 10.
And they
That's
wouldn't
more concerning.
regrade it. A lot of times they wouldn't regrade it a 10 today. But a lot of times, just look at the cert number. And is it oldish is it old? Then there probably was no value in that card when it got graded, and the grader was just being nice, right?
Yeah.
Or they were just in general a lot lighter. I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon cards that have no business being 10s that are 10s, but they were graded in 2012, 2011. I mean, there was no value to them at that point for a lot of them.
Yeah.
This is a really good comment because
I like this. I was just going to say something about this too, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, what's Gem Mint? Because BGS, CGC, and PSA don't have the same standard, but they use the same phrase. Gem Mint isn't Gem Mint across the board. That is not good.
I don't think it would ever happen, but it would be nice because, you know, like in accounting, they have generally accepted accounting principles that are kind of like the guiding factors for accounting in the United States. And then internationally, they have a different set of rules. Yep. But it would be nice if these grading companies would get together and have some sort of general grading principles that all the companies abide by. Like they agree to all abide by these principles. Now, you're still going to have personal opinion on that grade, like based on this nick here or this, how soft is this corner, like because like, when I think of sixes, I don't think of like a card that's folded in half, but I also don't think of a card that's got a couple little things wrong with it either as a 6. You know what I mean? To me, that makes no sense because then wouldn't we be basing as collectors raws as a 5 as a general? You're in the middle as a raw card. And then from there, you're going to have the varying degrees of damage or defects with the card. And that's either going to increase the rating that you get or decrease it based on how that card is. Because you can look at vintage baseball cards and see significant wear on a card as a 5 or a 6 and a vintage card. But and this kind of goes in hand with Swami's comment earlier. They do grade lighter on certain versions of cards or sets of cards. But then you see a 6 in like a modern day card, and you're like, I got to break out the microscope to find the defects.
Well, it is probably like his Wolverine Orange 7. That's strange to me. I want to see the card because any dent usually gets bumped down to a 6.
Well, yeah.
So when I hear 6, I hear dent.
Like the turquoise and the pink have a dimple right on his chest on every single card. So I've asked others who have that same card, like, hey, can you take a look at it for me? You know, so that's supposed to be taken into account, like as a manufacturing defect that's across the board. Like the red PMG Miles Morales has the streaks across it, you know, which every card has. And it boggles my mind that Upper Deck has absolutely no QA. Let's just admit that. Because if I was somebody at a printing facility that ran that through and saw that, every card has it, that's an immediate destroy and reprint, honestly. Like, I don't know what other business can get away with stuff like that. It boggles my mind. So they were supposed to be taking into consideration that grade, but I mean, I've only seen like 1 or 2 9s. Everything's getting an 8 or a 7 for that card.
And like with Dan's comment here, Swami was saying like he used to send in 500 count submissions, and now he's breaking that down. I think some of this, like what Dan's saying here, how they grade on a bell curve, that may or may not be the case. Send 100 jet mins in, you're going to get 8s, 9s, and 10s somehow split up. Even if you know that even if you've gone through them fine tooth comb, you could be a professional grader from before working with PSA, and then now review everybody's cards and still have kind of a different success rate there. But with this, I've actually stopped sending in the same cards on the same submission as well. That way they can't compare them one for one.
Across, but it's like right. Yeah, I don't know if I can angle it properly, but it's literally like right here where my finger is. So I think the problem is the lighting, but you kind of.
Yeah, and even that way, it's you can very, very lightly
every single one has that.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not a perfect science.
No, it's absolutely not.
Maybe one day they will make it a perfect science, and that'll be a scary day.
I hope not.
Well, because it's the double-edged sword, right? You want more consistent grading, and the way you get more consistent grading is automation.
Keep taking advantage.
And how do you get automation? Well, you're going to have reduction in 10s.
I think the only time AI and a standardized format of grading should be used is for like a QA, like just to double check. Like, does it make sense? I like that as an opinion because it gives me a chance to get a 10 on a card that should be a 9.
No,
Like,
I agree.
like
I
that.
agree 100%. That's what I was saying. It's like the automation is a double-edged sword. We want consistent grading across all the companies. That way there can be, okay, which slab do you like better? And that's the appeal, right? Not, well, this one says 9.5 and this one says 10. But then
I've worked in a lot of industries and like ISO standards for tech companies. You know, that's across the board. You can't violate those ISO standards if you're going to be like, you know, like USB and all these other things. Like I work in technology, so you know, I just don't. You know, I know they don't want to advertise how it's done because then it calls into question their practices. So they're keeping everything secret for the most part. With most grading companies, I have seen like SGC, I think, does do occasionally behind the scenes stuff and shows you like the grading floor and their whole process, which is cool. But I know PSA will never do
Ken,
that.
with this, I would say a question to you is, what is your plan with that card? If your plan is to keep the card, I personally would send it to CGC. You're probably still going to get a 9.5 with CGC, but I like their slab better. So if I'm keeping it and I'm going to have it graded, I like the CGC slab better. But if your intent is to eventually sell it and you think it can get that PSA, and after you look at it under a little bit of magnification, if you're not seeing anything like Oak does, maybe crack it and send it to PSA, because that 10 in the PSA, at least right now, is going to be more valuable than the CGC 9.5 or the SGC 9.5. And SGC 9.5 takes SGC 10s take a decent dip down from a PSA. And SGC 9.5 drops way down. Like a lot of times you can compare those to almost like a PSA 8.
It hasn't always been the case. Like Beckett 10s got more than PSA 10s.
Oh yeah, Beckett 10s, yeah. SGC though has always kind of been like second fiddle to both of those guys until recently.
I didn't look at any analytics, but did Beckett have a dip after their announcement of their new like grading structure and all that happened? Or is that a bad subject to bring up?
That was a disaster for them. I think that honestly moved them down to 4th in the pecking order.
I think you're correct. Yeah.
That they should have stuck with what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
if you're going to announce it, just do it. Don't.
They did that twice. They did that like clockwork. They had a decent idea, go for it, and they literally they announced it at a card show. They listened to the loudest crowd on the internet and bitch and moan. Sorry about the cursing, but they give in, and then they come up with another decent idea, and a small minority, you know, all up in arms, and they. In my opinion, I thought easier 10s.
Good stats, man.
What are we talking about? What have we been talking about for the last hour? That PSA 10s get 5 to X more. Now it's coming down, and that probably won't last. But people like 10s. So as a company, if you have a good idea, maybe roll with it and don't listen to a small minority. I was pissed off that they gave in. I wasn't pissed that they came out with the announcement.
I was upset that they came out with the announcement because I do see how it affects those people that have amassed a 9.5 collection that are gem mints, and then now just because they're changing their future labels, even though that other 9.5 gem mint label potentially could get sent in and get.
I bet they would have reslabbed.
Yeah, I think they
were offering. They were going to be offering a reslab, you know,
at no cost
for those cards, but it was like. If you, like you said, you were mad that they rolled it back and they gave in. But if you even think you're gonna roll it back, don't make the announcement at all.
Right. Yeah.
They should group source that and see what the people actually think before you make a public announcement about it.
Or, you know, there were positive announcements that came out just a day, hours after they made the announcement that they were reversing, because not everybody hears things the day of, and the people that complain are the loudest ones, right? I mean, it's the most pissed off people are the loudest people, and I don't know. I just thought most
people didn't care. Like for me,
honestly,
seriously,
Armando,
most people didn't.
I honestly don't think that's a good move for Fanatics. I think the best move for Fanatics would be to buy Beckett right now, because
100%.
theirs is the company that's on the decline, and Fanatics is all about maximizing what they can do with a company.
Yep.
And that's what they did with Tops. Tops took a big nosedive when it came out. They were losing the licensing and all this other stuff, and then Fanatics was able to pick them up pennies on the dollar before they went public.
I think with the money Fanatics has, I think they're going to probably buy their own pressing facility or build one, honestly, and not rely on these, outsourcing that most card companies do. And then they have to wait in the queue for their cards to get printed. I think they're going to actually invest with the amount of money, the Saudi group that's backing Fanatics, basically. It's billions of dollars. So it's a smart move to go ahead and make your own, make the sausage yourself. Don't outsource to somebody else. So that's
I think what he's talking about here is like them, because they already bought Tops, so they have the cards.
Yeah.
They're getting the basketball, football,
Yep.
baseball license. They already have baseball, but they're getting the basketball and football licensing from Panini in the next couple of years, and they're already in talks. They're bringing everybody from Panini, as it seems.
Yeah.
For them, because they have their own live, like a Whatnot now. They have their own thing for that. They're big into like memorabilia stuff on the sports side of things. Their next lot, they have their vault stuff now, and it makes sense that they would get a grading company, and then they're a one-stop shop at that point in time. You can buy your cards online from them, have them broken on their stream, sent to their vault, sent to their grading, and then get them back in your vault. And it never has to leave one company. It just stays right there the entire time. And that's convenience, and people will pay for the convenience.
Convenience for what?
Exact. That's my point. Is for what? What is the convenience for? You
It's
get
for like investing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
not really collecting.
it's not collecting.
Because you don't get to enjoy the thrill of opening the cards, because like when I do the Whatnot streams, I enjoy opening cards for people. It helps me keep my costs down as far as what I'm spending to open cards to get that same thrill. I can enjoy it, but then I got to ship that stuff off. They get the thrill of watching it, but that's it. They didn't physically pull the cards, so there's not that much excitement involved with it.
But to be able to do it with other people, like that was huge. I watched a lot of in COVID. I watched a lot of, Royalty Gaming, and he cracks Pokemon, and I loved that little group, and it was like over a period of like 3 months, but I knew the people in the chat, and it was, it was great.
Well, it's like Thursday nights, I love to go on to Whatnot to watch Ian Cards and Metals streams. Like I might not be buying into the breaks all the time, but I love to go in and interact with the people that are in there when I have opportunities to go in there and do that, and then be able to see what they are hitting, because then you can enjoy that excitement with them.
I removed all my credit cards from Whatnot, so I can't find anything.
It's as bad as ComC, because that swipe, like you're like trying to just swipe out of the stream and you buy something, you're like, damn it.
Yeah. I am. I was gonna say, God, I went blank here, but I during COVID I watched a lot of. If you guys watch Random Collector on
yeah.
Dude, I love that. I love him. He's just like, this card is bullshit. It is
Yes,
I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, look at this. It has no intrinsic value to me. I will not be buying like Spider-Man Metal. He hated Spider-Man Metal. I was just laughing the whole time watching him. Like as I've got 3 boxes sitting next to me, I'm like, oh boy. I would love to have him on us.
And I liked how he liked Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
And I could see why he liked it, because after he opened one box, his base set was almost complete in his binder, because he'd show you his binder.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really like it. Then you get to the inserts, and I really like this one. And it's nice how you get this with this. And it was just, I liked watching his videos. And I think once box prices got a kind of high, I think he slowed down. But I like that guy. He is a legend.
Yeah. Actually, he influenced me to buy up Rittenhouse X-Men Archives. I have a full set of that now, like with all the inserts.
But what he wouldn't be doing is he'd be calling it trash, but he'd be going one at a time. calling it trash, not like 3/4 of the pack trash.
Why
upside
did they
down, not
use
even
this
looking at
image?
it.
Why did they use this image?
Exactly.
I think he commented about the Jubilee in the X-Men archives. He's like, "What? This is not Jubilee." Like, and like my whole time I think was this is like a tech bro's wife that got
Everybody watches
upgrades
them.
in her
Everybody watches them.
upper
Nice.
region. But yeah, everybody loves Random Collector, man. If you ever watch our videos, I hope somebody sends this one to you. But yeah, we really appreciate you and you. I enjoyed watching your stuff during COVID, man. So
For sure.
but,
So.
I hate
Well, guys, we
that.
broke that 2-hour mark. We want to turn this into a 5-hour night, or
Let's go.
Dude, I got. Let me show you what I'm sorting
folks,
through
like I
here.
got my sip. I'm good. What do you got going on, Matt?
I got to go through all this stuff here,
Oh my god.
along with. Oops, hold on. Let me get that over there. All these boxes over here are getting reorganized tonight too. I got to get ready for
Yeah,
night shift.
I've been
So
packing loose cards up and putting them in boxes, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sort these after the move. I'm not gonna mess with them right now.
Yeah.
You see this?
How
Yeah,
long have you
your-
had that
your big old
microscope?
I got it. I got
18
the
years.
bin number 1 of Magic the Gathering.
Mm.
Look at this.
You're cracking it, no, I'm joking.
Let's go.
Or is it already open?
Yeah, it looks like it's already.
is open.
Yeah, it's already open.
This is just full of cards, collection purchases, and look at this Unlimited Lightning. Oh, huh?
I don't know what that means. I have one Magic card that I'm gonna send off. And I
What's
don't
that
even
card?
know if it's
The
any good.
Black Lotus? Is that the big one that everybody was chasing back in the day?
The alpha one, yeah.
So I have one Magic card. So you guys can tell me if it's any good or not. 2017. I think it's the 2017 Dark Magician.
Did you say Magic card?
Magic. Yeah.
It's
That's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
you dummy.
Yu-Gi-Oh? Whatever. See, I told you. I don't know anything about these.
Come on, you're
There you
killing
go.
me.
I just went with Magic because it's Dark Magician. There you go. See? Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark
You want to
That
Magician
trade for a
2017.
It is
piece
a cool
of
card, though.
non-DNA horsehair?
Hey, this
You're trying to
this
take-
one's actually a nice card. Look at that. Sunglasses of Urza. That's got to be a nice card, eh?
Yeah,
Anything
well, it
Urza's is
shows-
nice.
It's the William. It's the end of this month. We'll be there beginning of July. I
was
pull
there-
wire says we didn't get to see Oak's Pokemon bread card.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. See, you guys know what these cards are just by looking at the front of them. I don't have a clue what this is.
I thought you were messing with me.
No, I didn't
See if
know,
I can-
man.
Here's my Magic
if I can
card.
find
I mean,
it.
Magic the Gathering. I mean,
That's why I hang
Yu-Gi-Oh.
out. That's why I hang out with you guys so I can start to learn a little bit.
So check this out. I got this in from Japan. The Marvel Vault. Huh? I'm gonna make a video on this, so don't trip. But it's
Is it going to stay
I don't know.
public for longer than like a day? Swami puts a lot of his stuff as private afterwards.
What'd you say?
I said you put a lot of your stuff private afterwards, don't you?
My Pokemon stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Cap Crockpot asks, Oak, what's your favorite card that you have? And then can we see it?
Here we go.
Right? He just pulls things out of his back pocket.
See everything you get. So I bought it for the stamps,
Mm.
but this is 2007. I'm gonna grade the stamps. Let's see. You get this cool stuff. This looks like a sketch. Hi, kids. Listen, time. Oh, did they read back in the day? Are you kidding me? This is pretty sick, though. So they talk about sketches, True American Hero, Captain America. It's kind of
Right.
weird sitting in Japan.
Marvelous Card says, I love how Swami just pulls things out of his back pocket. He's like, check this Hulk 181 CGC 9.8 out here that I just have sitting in this tote.
I don't know. This is pretty cool. Let's see if we can get to the. I kind of want to see
Well,
these stickers.
we're doing that drinking game at MentalCon, right? Where people are going to get to guess which cards you don't have, and if they get it right, they don't have to drink. But if you have it, they have to drink.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's going to be good thing because we got you and Oak in the same time slot. Melfi's in that same time slot too, so we'll have you guys on as a crew. We just get Dan and Newt on. We'll have the voice chat going.
This is pretty crazy. This is cheap. This is super cheap. The Mary Marvel Marching Society. I belong. The Mary Marching Society. I guess I'll learn about
Say
that.
20 times fast.
Marvel was ingenious and inspiring and unifying
He's
the
got the-
fan base.
He's
As
got
a
the whiskey in the
evidence
root
of
beer
welcome
ready.
kit.
Yeah, Dan, you might have to. Come on, man.
I think
We'll
I
get
want to be
Newt on
friends
camera.
with-
I'm sure of it. I'm sure if we had Swami and Oak and Dan on there, we can draw Newt out too.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I
You
want
gotta
to be
get
friends.
new.
I want to be friends with Marvelous Cards. This sounds awesome.
Follow him on Instagram. He's stacking 9mm.
Hey, the Mighty Marvel Comic Convention. This
Me
is
too.
like, that's cool. All right, where's these stamps? Where's these stamps at, huh? There we go. I'm gonna get these out.
Wow.
So there's the PMG Spidey image.
That's John Romita. Yeah.
These are cool. I think these will be like the first stamps I grade. Value Stamps Collection, mid 1970s. So these stamps are from the 70s, 1974, which is why I bought them. Look at that Ghost Rider. What the hell? Look how sick that is. How cool is that?
Solid. Old school.
Did I do that right?
There's Johnny
I don't know
Boys.
if I typed that right or not.
Dang. Yep. So, oh, look at that. Marvel cards. Hey.
The Ghost Rider rookie card. Yeah.
Well, would you look at that? You know that Stanley? I saw that Stanley sell raw for $2,000 in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Raw.
Yeah, you
Crazy.
get it for $100 for a PSA 10.
This guy right here, guys, if you want to follow him, that's his IG.
Got him.
Wild. What a book, eh?
He's always got some really cool reels.
All right. Now I'm just full of entertainment. Let me just carry the show for us. We're about done.
I'm just enjoying all this because I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that I collected, like when I was a kid, and
Mhm.
comics that I had an uncle that collected Marvel comics as well.
Oh,
So-
Punisher looks cool.
Yeah, and the Wolverine origin right there too.
William says if you're selling the Ghost Riders, he's a buyer.
What did he say?
He said if you're selling the Ghost Riders, he's a buyer.
No, Swami. There was something behind that last page.
Yeah, the Punisher.
Okay.
It was behind that last.
Carrying the
It was
show.
behind that last.
Where'd it go?
you
He
hear
wasn't
that?
really there apparently.
I saw a Punisher.
I'm not
It was
tripping.
behind. It was behind the last like grayish, like behind one of those last grayish looking pages. That right
There it
there.
is. Yeah.
All right. Marvel in the movies.
I was gonna say that looks like Punisher from the movie
like
like Thomas Jane. Yeah.
Feel
Green
like
Goblin.
It just looks cool though.
a kindergarten teacher right now.
Nice.
That Green Goblin, he was so good.
All right, kids, get your milk and your cookie. Come sit down on the carpet. Daddy Swami's gonna give us a story time.
How bad was I? Did not enjoy this.
Terrible. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at
Yeah.
Swami, let's see the glow in the dark cards you've been grading.
that. Yeah, I'm about to turn the lights off.
Let's do it.
Ken says the best reels are done when he's drunk. That's when everybody loosens up, is when they get a little sauce in them. All right, Oak, let's see what you got here. So
Oh,
chat asked
couldn't-
earlier. Chat asked
find the
earlier
bread.
if what is it?
I got the knock from
your best card, and then can we
downstairs,
see
so
it?
I'll be back.
And then somebody wanted to see the sticker from the bread.
Yeah, I can't
card.
find the sticker. I have a lot of boxes unpacked. I'm not prepared for this at all. I've literally been moving house the past week, so excuse me. I'm not unpacked yet. But I did find. I don't know if you guys will remember this if you did ever watch the show, but I found my Squirtle Squad gold foil sticker.
Cool.
That's a cool one. Oh, badass Squirtles. Yeah, I got a lot of random stuff in a box, and I don't know where the box is. I thought I had some of it here.
Dan says, "Where's that one comic with all the honeys that you read to us in voice on One Night Swaps?" Swami's always posting the honeys.
Yeah, it's funny. He's a honey lover.
Oh my goodness! So, what's your favorite card, Oak, that you have in your collection?
You know what I really like is I have. Here, I'll show you. I have a bunch of cards that this might be like a bit of a cheeseball answer, but I have a bunch of cards that people, like my friends, have sent me, and then I've graded them, and then I've had them sign the slab. So I have
cool.
like auto signed slabs of like a bunch of my friends of like Pikachu's. You know, they send me Pikachu's. Like this
That's
is
cool.
a really cool. The Green Shares Josh, he sent me a Pikachu sticker. Squirtle Swarm sent me a badass Pikachu.
That
EX.
is pretty sweet. What is that from?
It's this one actually is just a black and white promo. Sorry, an XY promo.
That's got Jolteon behind them.
Yeah, you got Jolteon and Electabuzz. So you got a couple others in there as well.
That's cool.
This one is a clear cut. So this isn't from the set. It's a clear cut one. I also have, which I don't have access to it right now. I have some cool stories with these things. These are like special cards. Let me skip through a couple. I've got actually a card with a piece of film cell from the first Pokemon movie with the scene where Pikachu is running up the stairs. Like, so it's like a Pikachu card, but it's like a piece of the film cell from the original film with Pikachu on it, which is amazing. I'll have to find that. This is the first ever. I graded the first ever Uno card, Pokemon Uno card with PSA. I had them open the set up and start grading them, so that was cool.
Is he talking about the teams here? He's got to be right. We're talking about Pokemon. He's got to be talking about the team. What were you showing us, Swamp?
Oh, Dan was wondering where this was at.
Oh,
I read to him story time right up here on one of Thrifty's lives, actually. The X-Women.
So Captain Crockpot, you're talking about like the Pokemon teams, I'm guessing?
Classic book, by the way.
Games.
I don't know the green team. I only know, so my Pokemon knowledge comes from Pokemon Go. So I know blue, red, and yellow.
No idea.
And I picked yellow.
Yellow
Green
was cool.
Green was Japanese. That was the first Pokemon game was green.
They had a green?
Japanese.
I didn't know that.
Japanese, yeah, it was green. That was the first one.
Yeah, I picked yellow, and then my wife and my daughter picked blue.
Yeah, I was yellow too.
Yeah.
Blue and yellow. Son, I was a master champion.
The Pikachu Burger King card still sealed inside Pokeball. And see it. It's like a gold-plated Pikachu. And then I also have the Burger King perforated card that you had to get out yourself of this.
Oh, wow.
I had that
DNA.
DNA signed it for me. He gave it to me.
Marvelous Card said, "Do you collect any Dragon Ball Z?"
No.
I only knew what DBZ means because Armando is collecting DBZ in the Nooligan Arts.
Yeah, I have a problem where if I start collecting something, I go into it. That's part of why I bought a bunch of Marvel stuff this weekend. Thanks, guys, because now I'm like
Glad we could help. Glad we could help enable you and
yeah, seriously,
contribute to your.
Well, I'm getting sucked into that whirlwind of it. It's a good thing. I mean, I enjoy it. It's just, there's no way I could start playing with Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, here we go. Those look sealed, and the plastic's yelling to be taken off.
Let's
go.
So these are my two favorite displays. I got the limited Trunks and the limited Frieza. I got an unlimited Saiyan Saga.
Let's go.
And that's it. I got different boxes up there, but these are the ones I'm gonna grab. These are pretty hot. These are pretty fire.
Swami, do you have a stamp box Pikachu slab up there? Was that what you had up there earlier?
No, stamp. I didn't do the stamp.
Well, what was the one up there? It looked just like the outline of the stamp promo. You had it on that top shelf. It's moved. You must have just moved it. It was a CGC slab.
There he goes again. Pulled one of those sealed boxes from his back pocket again.
So I used to have the Lily.
Top right. To the right and then up one. There was a card right there. It looked just
it's up
like
there, Swam. It's up there. It's right there.
I swear to God, it was a Pikachu stamp promo. It looked exactly the same.
I didn't do any of the Pikachu stamp promos.
Just show us everything you have.
I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna get it all, boys. Or at least one version of each. Maybe not all.
So while he's doing that, Oak, you guys have been doing your video podcast thing now for 23 weeks, right? You guys 23rd episode was yesterday.
Crazy, yeah, it's flown.
What got you guys doing that? Like, what was the reasoning behind doing that podcast?
There wasn't really any reason. Honestly, I mean, we talked and I respected him. We very different. That's cool. It's got a Rayquaza on it. It's got a Pokemon on it. We just kind of, I don't know, we just kind of like joked about it. Like, hey, like, there's no like podcasts that are recorded. They're all live. There's no like recorded ones where like people are talking about slabs and the hobby and like more intentional about that kind of stuff. Like, you want to like talk about it and start one, and then it was like a whirlwind. Then we're like, yeah, let's do this, and then we got it set up and we ran with it basically. And we ran a Secret Santa in the Discord, and we paid for the shipping. Spent some money buying presents and doing the shipping and stuff, and it was fun. Yeah, we just kind of kicked off with that, and then started the podcast together, and people seem to like it. I mean, it's nothing crazy huge or anything, but it's fun. It's definitely it's awesome. I'm glad.
As long as you're enjoying doing it, that's all that matters.
It's the highlight of my week.
Yeah, I'm glad. I love doing this too. I hate when I have to work nights and I can't come on with the guys. You know.
Oh, hell yeah! I left some packs.
Uh-oh.
William says ABR.
Go on then.
Box is already open.
I'm having like flashbacks of when I worked at Sam Goody and people would call me on Tuesdays. You got the new Dragon Ball Z VHS tape today? No. Dude, we get like 30 calls on Tuesdays just for Dragon Ball Z. It's nuts.
It wasn't big in England.
Oh,
it's definitely like an American thing that was bigger.
Yeah, I think I might have caught like in total like 2 minutes of the show.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it myself, but I mean, hey,
Pokemon.
I wasn't even trying to. It was like one of the kids would be watching it, and I'd be like walking through the room, and then there it was, and then just kept walking.
Vegeta.
All right, so what are we looking at here? Oh. Yeah, you looks good there. What pack is this from? What set is this from?
This is Japanese Heroes, Dragon Ball Z Heroes.
I see a gold card.
Yeah, this is gosh, what year is this? 1991.
Oh,
No, is it really?
Yeah, 1991.
What?
Yeah,
That's
well,
crazy.
in Japan, Dragon Ball was out already for like 10 years. They
That was
were
in
like
ninth grade.
when we got Dragon Ball Z, they were already on like GT.
Wow. Okay.
So this is 1991. 32 years.
wow.
See if I get a prism. And I have some prisms I can show you from this set. But just classic images. Come on, focus. You can do it.
Yeah,
Do
mine
it.
was- Mine was doing the same thing. That's annoying.
Oh, there it is.
He shook it out. He shook it out. There you go.
Can you see Gohan and Goku? They're
Yeah.
about to do the
A little bit.
Kamehameha.
Yeah, I can make it out.
Kamehameha. Ah! Yeah.
It's got to be a $500 card.
Actually, we'll see. I got one up at auction right now. Let's see
Ken
here.
says the prisms are nice. He has a few, and he needs more. William
Trying to
says
buy it.
GT sucked.
You want to do a giveaway?
Yeah, if you want.
Swami said he's going to give one of those Dragon Ball.
Swami's going to give away that Marvel Vault. Swami's giving away the Marvel Vault. Hashtag Vault.
Yeah, no, I'll do a box of Pokemon, the newest set, part of the year evolved.
Wow.
This one's nice. You got like Goku and Vegeta. He's about to step up and fight Cell.
That's cool. It's so intense. Dragon Ball Z is so intense.
Come on. There it is.
That's cute.
They run around in clouds, I think. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they're riding a cloud, the Nimbus cloud.
Okay. I remember that.
How old are you, man?
Dude, I'm 47 years old.
Then it's acceptable. If you're going to say anything under the age of 37, I was about to have, because I was about to get real upset. But actually, I opened this because this is the best part of this box almost, is the poster that it comes with. Woo! I couldn't believe it. They have a poster that came in the box. I was like, hey.
All the cards.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah, I know it's next to impossible to do a actual checklist, but I mean they could do something like this again with like base cards for Marvel. I think that'd be really cool.
That's the one thing I do miss. Like when I worked at the comic store, 92 Masterpieces came out, and I had one of those posters. I don't have any more.
Hashtag bloke.
We got like Super Saiyan Goku. I actually have this Gohan. The Gohan standing. Oh my god! Right here, he's got a prism, and I 9.5'd it. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
But
Sorry, I just got a
What am I
notification.
doing?
I got my money back for that Iron Man sketch card that got stolen.
Nice.
I had to
From
jump
the
through so
post
many
office.
Yeah, post
From the
office,
post
because
office?
they scanned it as delivered at the post office, was stolen by one of
Yeah.
the employees.
Good man. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Oak, what are you giving away, sir? What'd you say you were giving away?
Let's do a box of the new set.
it's my last little Dragon Ball. That's it.
You gonna open it?
You know what's inside.
I'm ready. I want to see some packs open tonight. Let's go.
No. Because I bought it just for the Shenron.
He's just
Let's
this guy
get the
over
shit
here.
on.
Matt, this guy over here, he's just as bad as Alonzo. Rip it, rip it, rip it.
Yeah, I'm a frog. Rip it. Let's go.
I'll do Alonzo. Come on, bro. You gotta open that. Come on.
Come on, doggy.
How they evolve.
Get you guys some Pokemon culture going on. Some crossover
There you
stuff.
go.
I might
There
add
you go.
a
That's
couple.
hashtag Oak in the comments.
So is
24
this
watching,
Digimon
only
related
5
to
entrants.
Pokemon?
24 watching, only 5 entrants, guys. Hashtag Oak. Let's get those up.
I'm just curious. Like, is Digimon related to Pokemon? Is that like a crossover, or is that just completely different?
So if you think about like
Transformers and GoBots.
think
Oh,
about
now they're running through. There they are.
yeah, there we go. Yeah, get it in. Think about Fresh Market, or like Fresh Foods or whatever it's called, that
Whole
good
Foods.
store, and then think about Dollar Tree. That's
Okay.
Pokemon and Digimon.
Okay, gotcha.
Digimon's like the fake, like not great version of Pokemon.
That's such a good
basically.
way to put it, man.
I'm like Whole Foods, and you're like, no, Dollar Tree, or like
Yeah.
gas station tacos.
Yeah. It's that, but it's fun. I used to watch I watched Digimon. Like
I
it is
did too.
fun.
I did
Yeah,
too.
it's fun. I mean, just like people like watching that. Like my wife likes watching the car crash reality TV, whatever you call it, where like drama and stuff happening.
Oh,
like,
I have friends who watch Wham Bam Tesla Cam because they just want to see Teslas getting destroyed left and right.
that sounds fun. I want to watch that.
Yeah, it's every Sunday morning. Like I've watched a few. It's basically like it's all the dash cam footage because Tesla has cameras throughout the entire car.
Oh, more
Just
Dragon
watching
Ball
it
Z.
happen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I want you to rip that one. That's the one. It's gold.
Uh,
Let's go.
Okay,
It's
one
shiny.
second.
Shiny
One second.
Swami.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, gold.
There you go.
Ready?
He's got to get the card cam going.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's the complete set.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Where it's
All that build up and then
Told you.
he's just going to show us what the cards look like, not going to actually give us the thrill of opening packs.
Look at that. Come
oh,
on.
the
I can't get it.
lenticular.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I love lenticular cards.
Oh yeah, these are sick too. Let's see.
Oh, I love that.
Punch in
Those
Frieza.
are my favorite
That's
annual
awesome.
cards, lenticulars.
These are really nice too.
26 watching, guys. We got 15 entries. Let's get 5 more.
Let's get
Hashtag
5 more. Let's
Hashtag
go.
vote. You get to 20, we'll draw it.
Got a little Raditz action here. Little Gohan Goku action. It's tough to get on. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. You've got Frieza.
What's going on,
Vegeta,
organic?
Goku. Ooh, this is my favorite image of Frieza. That image right there.
It looks cold.
He's like pointing and he's about to blast. I think he's about to kill.
Sis Rips. What's up? How are you? That's
Ooh,
our friend in the chat, Swish Rips. That's his better half.
That makes sense. Sis Rips.
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. Here's the
Lenticular.
Meha,
Fairly
Meha,
newer.
Meha. Which is probably like for the longest time, I think Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Kamehameha was defeating Cell was like the most
And
epic.
there's the alternate.
What's up?
The alternate account has arrived.
He's gonna win anyway. It's gonna happen.
He always wins. He always wins. People are going to
You
start
get
thinking
that-
it's rigged.
That genie rubs the
He's
lamp.
talking about Swish Rips.
No, it's about
Oh,
Mondo.
there he is again. There he is again. That's YouTube channel number 3.
Oh my god.
Come on, guys. We got 28 watching, and they can't all be Armando.
Yes, please enter.
Wait, I thought Armando was going to come in.
I get it mixed up sometimes too. Armando is Do6237 in the chat, and he's also Link6237 in the chat, and he's also Dodo Meza.
Okay, so I'm getting confused.
Yep. And then Alonzo Collectibles is our gentleman that always comes on. He's our super excited man that pushes for everybody to open their boxes.
I don't think he's too far away from you, Oak. I mean, I don't know what part of Florida
He's
in,
like,
but I think he's
I
not
think-
too far.
I think he's like between Orlando and Naples.
Okay.
Same.
So I know he's driven to CGC before to pick up stuff and drop stuff off. So
It must be close. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll live stream together one day.
No, we did. We did
Yeah,
ask for
one
more.
more.
We did ask for more
One
entries.
more.
And you gave them.
ooh, make him
Oh,
make
yeah.
a make
I'm
Swami
working on
big
it,
again.
working on it. There
Look
you
at
go.
Oh, they're cute.
Mhm. Very nice thing.
Hashtag Ghost Spot. No, No.
Hashtag Big Daddy. Giving away the ghost
I
spiders.
cannot wait until the next movie.
Me too. I actually just ordered. I've been collecting the posters, so I've got the IMAX poster. I've got the Chinese poster, which is based on the Legend of the Monkey King, which is really cool. If you just Google Chinese Across the Spider-Verse poster, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I found the Japanese variant posters too for dirt cheap on eBay. So I ordered a bunch of those.
Very nice.
So yeah,
Last
posted
chance,
a
guys.
bunch of
Hashtag
mine.
Oak
Pamphlet?
for a
Did
chance
you
to
get
win.
the pamphlet?
I can't find it. I tried to order it. Yeah, it's gone. Like nobody's selling on eBay. So, but I did type in pamphlet and nothing came up. Let me double
If I
check.
get an
make
extra
sure.
one, I'll get you.
Okay.
All right, guys. Last chance. We're gonna draw it as soon as Oak comes back.
Okay, I got a couple other things I'm gonna add in.
Oh, he's gonna add. All right.
So we'll do the newest set.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do Potty of Old, a box of that. We'll do a box of Silver Tempest, which is a fun one. And then this is everyone likes cats, right? This is a Litten. This is a cat, PSA 10. This is from an exclusive 4-card set in Japan called Pikachu's New Friends. And I hit a 10 on it. So
Hashtag
I'll do
Oak,
that.
guys.
there's
That's awesome.
that's a fun little.
Armando says if the other accounts win, re-roll. But if this one wins, not re-rolling. All right, man. If primary wins, re-roll. If the others win, re-roll. Got it.
And we'll do the gold
I
box
got
of Swamis too. Let's throw that in as well.
There you go. All right, guys. All right, Oak. You tell me when, and I'll pull the trigger.
Go, do it. Got a couple of
Good luck,
last
guys.
second
Good
Good
ones.
luck.
Steph.
Steph Chair, congratulations. Congratulations. Awesome. Congrats. Oak, how would you like her to reach out to you?
I'm in Swami's Discord, in the Marvel Discord. You can just grab me on there. I am on Instagram, Professor Oak YouTube, all
Okay.
one long word.
And I will drop, you think Instagram is probably the easiest way for people to get a hold of you?
You can do that. My email is contactprofessoroak@gmail.com. There's that too. I mean, whatever. Like,
I'll drop your Instagram in the chat. That way there's a direct link to your Instagram.
sweet.
There you go, Steph.
Congrats,
So that'll take
Steph.
you to his Instagram. Just send Mr. Oak a. I'm not calling you Professor Oak. I'm sorry. You're not a
No.
It's
professor.
Captain Oak to you, damn it.
I got a
maybe imposter Oak. So,
I got a funny one with that. So my mail lady, I mean, we just moved house, but the last place we've been at for a couple of years, she thought because I got mail all the time to
I'm
Professor
sorry.
Oak.
I apologize.
Well, it's not your fault. He's got a
Like Steph Curry.
like Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then
with
the female icon, I
the
just thought it
female
was,
icon made me
Isn't
think
that Black
Stephanie.
Widow on there?
Anyway, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, my
mail lady.
my mail lady with USPS should bring the mail, and I was getting stuff to Professor Oak all the time. So sometimes I'd run out there and say, "Hey, can you take this box?" Because I was selling stuff. I'd run out and give it to her. She was delivering the mail, and she'd go, "Yeah, no problem, doctor. Thanks, doctor." She'd like call me doctor because she thought I was Professor Oak. she like actually thought I was Professor Oak. She didn't realize.
like the last
that
name
wasn't
wasn't
my
even like the last name's not Oak or anything. Just like
It's so
That's
funny.
funny.
I like chuckled to myself every time. I didn't have the heart to tell her, obviously, but I just chuckled to myself every time she'd say it. She'd go, "Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Doc." So bad. Oh my god.
That's great.
Thanks,
It's
Doc.
Do you want to rip them now? Are you freaking serious? Let's go. Oh my god. Music to my ears.
Wow. Rip and ship.
Sold.
It's like done.
Thank
Can you
you.
imagine winning a free rip and ship of 2 boxes? How fun that is.
That's
Oh my God.
awesome. And then we all
Really?
get to see it too.
I hope there's no BS in here. Like, I hope there's something good. I really, really do.
Something
No G.I. Joe
massive.
cards. No G.I. Joe cards.
No G.I. Joe cards. It's a new
Okay.
set, so there shouldn't be G.I. Joe
Okay,
cards
good.
in it.
So the 2 different types of boxes. This one is a build and battle box, the Silver Tempest. You get a full deck of Pokemon cards to play the game. And on this one, you got a holographic stamped Rapidash, which is pretty cool. There's different ones you could get. So you now have a deck to play the game if you want to. But then you also
Nice.
get a full art set. So you get one of every art set of the
All right, Crockpot's comment. He said he suddenly realized people think I'm a crockpot. That explains the
Wait,
funny looks.
you're not? I thought he had Alexa built into him and was
I
chatting
thought
in.
it was a teapot shortened.
Hopefully these packs
I'll be
aren't
right
too loud.
No, you're good.
Okay, I'll try not to be too loud with it. Okay, so I think it's going to be super clear. Let's see.
Nope,
we
there's
got
there's the reverse, or that's the
Oh,
hollow.
wait,
You
we
got
got?
the
What
reverse
we
right
got?
there.
wait, I can't do it reversed.
So that one's the hollow, and the one
Ariados.
before that was the reverse.
Ariados.
Yep. No. Well, yeah.
That was the reverse. Yeah.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to tell on these.
Is that a skunk? The reverse?
No,
Looks
it's
like- all right, I'll check.
Marini. You won't. Yeah, I mean,
I love that look. Somebody screenshot that.
I'll meme that along with Clockwork
Right.
Orange over
let's see
here.
if we can get something good. You guys won't know, so I could just type up anything.
Oh!
We got
Nice.
Radiant Jirachi. That's a
Hey,
good one.
yo!
That's
Nice.
And an Articuno
Whoa.
Hollow. Legendary
Nice.
bird.
That's a pack right there. That's a pack.
Yeah, they're really good. I love that Articuno.
Oh no! It's like I'm not concentrating anymore. I'm trying to
Just
think
put
of
like a Steph Curry image so we all know what Steph stands for.
This Articuno is a
Yeah,
10
that's it.
for sure. And the
So
Jirachi.
Dan asked
Scratch
is
is
blanching
solid.
this set.
Do you remember
It's
what
gotta
it
be an
means?
inside. It's gotta be an inside thing.
Back to the honeys.
Back to the honeys, baby.
Now with Grusha, it almost
Oh,
happened again.
gosh. We were in voice chat one night, and there's this Pokemon waifus. They're not real waifus; they're little girls on
Mhm.
Pokemon cards.
Some of them. So some of them are older.
Oak's like, "Hey, watch it. I like some of those."
Oh, the
Ooh,
God of
nice.
War full art. Wow, that's really
That's
cool.
cool.
That's not bad at all. And there's still a chance for another. Oh, a skunk
Yes.
tank.
hey, skunk.
There's your skunk. You called it. And a Dragonair. That's cute. Wow.
Oh man, it's a long story. True.
This is a good box.
This is a good box. Let's go, Blanche.
Are we ripping both? Steph, bro, do you want to rip the other box? Okay, Drowsy, Growlithe, Mischievous, Wilma,
Mischievous,
Whaler.
Murkrow.
Murkrow. The
Roselia.
reverse.
Is that Roselia?
Is that a skunk?
Noivern. It's a bat.
It's a bad Noivern.
Nothing crazy, but we got God of War. Let me sleeve that up.
There we go.
Are they doing
Hey,
hollows?
now
in
you
every
guys,
pack?
you guys got to join Swami's Discord if you want to know the rest of the story. He says yes.
Too
Cheers.
sweet.
Rip it.
Okay, let's do it. I'm not gonna rip your slab because that's gonna be messy. So I'll ship that.
Oak's delivery is just, man, spot on, dude. Spot on.
What did I do?
You just did yourself. You just for you.
That's what she said. Okay. Now this one is straight up packs, 6 packs. So
Oh, dying.
Let's go.
Dying.
This is the set that came out 6 days ago. So this is literally brand new. This is ready to rock and roll. Is it what day is it?
Did you
5
get that at
days ago.
Sears? Did you buy it at Sears?
Sears.
I just figured your shirt. Hey, you look good.
So
look,
these
you look good.
these
I think
boxes
they
here are
actually
like the
closed
equivalent of a
Sears
blaster
down.
box, right?
No, you look good. Oh, I'm the friggin' Jabberwocky over here. Like, look at this. Bears.
I know. I was
t-shirt.
like, I put on like 4 different shirts to figure out what I was going to wear on the stream tonight. I was like, screw it,
That's
I'm
what
just
you
gonna wear
came
Rick and
up
Morty.
with.
I came up with Rick and Morty, man.
Mommy.
I'm just kidding. They tee it up, man. They just tee these things up.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is the new generation, so they have silver borders now. We've swapped it out. No more yellow borders. Okay. Oh, I see something flashy. Why is it so not clear?
Your hands
Okay.
are very clear.
I'm just going to go for it.
You have nice hands.
That's what she said. Oh,
Tyranitar. That's a
Nice.
good one. He
That's a
looks
good-looking
angry. He
card,
looks
too. I
mean.
like
Can
that.
you give us a little close up of that T-Tar?
Wait,
Just
what
like-
the hell? Hang on.
Just hold the card up to the camera, folks.
It's like reversed. It's so weird.
He looks.
There you go.
Oh, it's
yeah,
here.
there you
He
go.
looks really
Okay.
good.
We got it. Oh, okay. And then we got a
Luxio, Tyranitar.
Octobax reverse and a Veluza.
There you go.
What a
Nice.
loser. Okay.
I'm just messing with you, True.
That's cool.
No, I know. I didn't take anything against that, man.
Good,
Believe
good,
me, I'm
good.
gonna be my own critic when that comes out. I'm like, do I want to wear the X-Men shirt tonight? Do I want to wear the Cards of Metal shirt tonight? I like put them on. I'm like, I'm feeling bloated today. I don't want to wear these ones. So put the Rick and Morty shirt on.
I did the same thing. I did the
Wait,
same
wait.
thing. I picked the first shirt up off the ground.
Mhm.
This
I didn't want to wear the black sweatshirt with the holes all over it.
This is
That-
so weird. I've
that
never
no one
written
but your
backs
wife
like this
uses.
before.
It is. Are there more cards in here?
Tinkerton. This is the new generation, so there's new. There's
Yeah,
the
so
same
this
amount
is
of cards. but
is this
it's-
Scarlet and Violet?
Mhm. This is Paldea Evolved. So this is the second set in Scarlet and Violet. So there's a lot of Pokemon
Okay.
you've never heard of. But Tinkerton is a new one. It's basically like a badass bitch with a hammer.
Oh.
Marshall.
I see.
Nice.
I see
I
it.
thought
now.
this was Marvel Roundtable,
Square
not
table.
Pokemon Square Table.
That's funny.
That's funny. We did talk about Marvel for a little bit. Swami showed us his Marvel Vault book. So,
Got the Marvel hitters.
Listen, Marvel Marshall, soon to be Pokemon Peter. You're gonna love these packs, okay? Okay, let's try and get focus, baby, focus. There we go.
There you go, right
Ooh,
there.
Yeah, they were clean. Marrow, that's cute as hell. Shut up. Oh my god, that's cute.
I like the silver
Wingull,
borders.
Luminous, yeah. Bombardier, Flamingo, that's a new one.
I wonder what they went after with that Pokemon.
Whopper.
Looks
that?
like all.
There you go.
Those hollows are way better than the lines
Mhm.
in Sword and Shield. Oh, I could
Love that.
not like those.
Yeah, I love how the hollows go all the way through the border too.
Yeah, it makes it feel very visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, come Upper Deck E-Pack's back.
Oak's got a little something about Mary going on with his hair. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think I did on my lunch break? Tropius, Primeape,
That's what she said.
That's Mages.
I'm 10 years old.
That's Pikachu.
Hey,
my
There you go.
there you go.
Nice.
That looks good.
That's cool.
I
Reverse.
love this one. This is the one I've been trying to pull. That's a really nice hit. Love that one. For loser. And basic. Okay, that was nice. We've got 2 packs left on Pokemon Square Table. Thanks everyone for joining in. Leave your tips at the door. Okay. Tiny Mouse.
No, we did tell them to bring their saucy comments.
This is the
comments.
The new, seriously. This is the new generation's Bulbasaur. Sprigatito.
Okay.
This is the new grass starter. Magnemite. Nacli, Florigato. That's the evolution of that starter. Quaxwell.
We did talk about this earlier, Marvel Marshall. And the consensus was we don't want that to happen.
Tell me it's 2023 Pokemon cards without telling me it's
2023
Pokemon cards.
They're getting in our kids' heads. Delibird, that's a good one.
They have a DoorDash card.
Yep, that's the evolution of the badass hammer bitch. And this is Orthworm, which is the most least
Just look how good those hollows look.
They look good, but it's a worm.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, a flamingo is a flamingo.
Yeah.
That badass hammer bitch, I love her.
It's just called Tinkerton. Like, so British. Okay.
It's like Poppy.
Okay.
Last pack magic.
Last pack. Okay,
don't screw it up.
There we go. Okay. Dunsparce, Wooper, Noibat, Bramblegast, Energy, Sudowoodo, he's cute.
Don't screw it up.
Dandra, that's a good one. Screwed it up. Sableye. Champow, EX.
Hey,
we got an EX
that
card.
looks really cool.
That's actually
cool
pretty solid. So this guy has swords for teeth.
That's a little ridiculous. They did a white leopard, which I think is super cool.
That's it.
What's he? He's like doomed to forever sleep on his side. How do you even eat with swords for teeth? Look at those 2 swords.
Yeah.
Like
massive.
Like let's not do it. What do they call those jumps where you do like the 100-yard dash, but you got to add in those jumps. What do they call that? High jump?
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So remember earlier when we were talking about like Pokemon introducing like serial numbered cards?
Nope.
And then we're like, yeah, no, because it would ruin the sets. What do you think about them adding like a hit card, like a sketch card?
They'd have to offer like a separate product, right?
That's not playable. This is the problem. It is an actual card game, whereas like Marvel and Star Wars and some of the other ones, like you can't play them. They have no like usage in that sense. Whereas Pokemon, like you could win thousands of dollars with that card by playing it as a game. Literally, like you can play it like in decks and win money and like win tournaments and stuff like that over and over and over. I think that if they took it away from that, which is all it's ever been, and did something like an NFT or a serialized or a sketch or something like that, it would no longer be about the game and the fundamental part of what it is. Like,
what if they did it in a manner, because they already have the code cards in the pack? What if they did it in a manner that you can win a sketch card from the artist?
Here's the other thing.
Scanning of the code card.
Here's the other thing. The winning aspect is an almost legal issue when your target audience is kids. You have to be very, very careful on holding like lottery and winning and chances.
No, it'd be like a redemption card. Like, so if you had 1,000 code cards that you would scan in online for the game, and you get a pack, and then you get certain cards out of that. But one of those cards, maybe 1 out of 1,000 of those, is a sketch card versus a pack of digital cards. You see what I'm saying? it's still a lottery, but you're doing that already in an essence of if you're opening packs, it's a lottery whether or not you hit the Moonbryon from all these guys, right? You're just taking an existing thing that's already in there, and instead of giving a digital pack of cards, you're actually giving a physical sketch card from one of the artists.
And make a promotional tag on the back of it. You know, not playable. Put that maybe on it as well. That way, it's just a piece of art that you get for the redemption. I
don't know if Pokemon really needs any gimmick stuff like that, though. But I mean, I think it'd be cool.
I mean, they're the biggest card game in the world.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be forced to do anything like that, even if people wanted them to do it. I think as long as they're selling product and not having to, sit on a bunch of inventory for the most part.
Yeah, no, I'll never say never. I mean, you never really know, but it's.
I think Ken is trying to summon Retroverse. We need to make Marvel overpower popular. Oh boy,
Josh is gonna jump on now.
I gotta wrap soon. I've got to be up in 6 hours.
So
yeah, as I say, you're on the.
We're at 3 hours anyway. So
yeah, we were about to.
Well, Oak, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us, man. Appreciate that, Swami, as well. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you two again together on next Friday's, not this Friday, next Friday's show. We got you. What time? We got you guys in the evening time. Yeah, 11 p.m. Eastern next Friday. Yeah.
Wow.
It came up quick, man. Yeah.
Whoa. It did come up quick.
Yeah. 24 hours later, we'll be done.
I got to make a game.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, because we got yourself, Professor Oak, and Melfi all in the same time slot. So now we just need to convince Dan and Newt to come on as well.
Easy. Dan's on, Newt's on.
There you go.
Story.
Swami spoke. It has been spoken. It is.
Don't
official.
know what they're doing next Friday night. Don't care. They're going to be here.
But they better show up, or Dan better look for a new room to stay for the convention.
Yeah. Yeah. If Newt shows up and Dan don't show up, Dan, I'm sorry. I'll kick you up into the attic. You're going to be sleeping in the attic. I won't kick you out.
He says, aha, all capital letters in. I got you in the calendar already, man. I got you booked. Nice. Now we just need to inform Newt that he can't book anything for next Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern. So,
yeah, yep,
yeah. That's a late night for you, Oak. But at least it'll be Friday night. So,
yeah. Well, wait. Was that Eastern time zone that I signed up for? Was it Western?
Yeah, you said This is what you said. Put me in the same time slot as Swami.
So what time is it?
11 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, yeah, we're good. No, I was like, oh my god, is that like 2 a.m. for a second?
That's 9 p.m. for you, Swam.
Yeah, that's good.
So awesome.
You
cool,
feel
guys.
good? Are you good?
Say again.
Are you feeling all right, Oak?
No, I feel like trash. I got like 100.
Oh yeah, because you're recovering from the Rona.
Yeah. Thanks for asking though. Pushing it.
Did you get your taste back and everything, or did you never lose it?
I didn't lose it. My main symptoms have been feeling really tired and like absolute garbage. I really struggled this evening. And then like brain fog type, like confusion and forgetting. And
we had that kind of over Christmas break, like where every single one of us in the house, all four of us were sick, and it was all the same symptoms for everybody. And we never went anywhere to get tested, but we're like, we'll just all hang out at home and just not go anywhere and let this kind of go by.
Sounds like a perfect Christmas sometimes. Like sometimes you don't need all the bullshit.
Yeah.
But sorry for the cursing.
You're good.
I don't know. Christmas, it's Thanksgiving is the one that can like you can hit or miss. You know, like Christmas. I'm sorry. Why am I dragging this out over this? Adieu.
See you guys next week.
Au revoir.
Later.